Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome into the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ. And look who's double back, both of them. Rob Thompson, Vic Brown. Welcome back, boys.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah,
you guys.
I'm overjoyed.
Look at you guys.
I know we're just tired.
I'm so happy to be here.
What is wrong with you guys?
Just tired.
Nothing.
What's
What's wrong with you?
We got the lazies.
We're just tired. We had like a week off, and it's just exhausted us.
It has. I need more time.
Yeah.
I need more time.
Need 2 weeks.
Man, you guys, it's enough already.
I leave town and
The people missed you.
oh yeah, we were missed.
There were a lot of people were asking about you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
That's what it's.
How was Rob's Christmas?
It was.
How's Vic's blood pressure?
How's
his
everything going?
how's his blood sugar?
It's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of people worried that maybe you were going to eat a bunch of chocolate candies for Christmas.
Believe you me, it was there. It was available, and I just turned it down. And
you avoided it.
Mm-hmm.
So you went down to the coast.
I went down to the
with
beach.
the fam. And then you're going to have your second Christmas coming up.
Yes, I am going to head out of here tomorrow after the show, and I'll be gone. We don't have a show on Wednesday, right? But I will be gone Thursday and Friday.
Well, who's going to do the show Thursday and Friday?
I don't know. That's not my problem anymore. I've carried my share of the weight, friends.
Wait a minute. I don't like the sound of this.
That sounds like you guys are going to have to show up at
we'll
work.
Prove this.
That's right.
No, you're due, brother. You are due. But celebrating 2-3 Christmas, it sounds fun in the offing. No, you can't muster the same enthusiasm the third time.
No. Also, my mother-in-law texted me yesterday and was like already asking me to cook things.
What?
Oh, no, that's good.
And I wanted to come home and be like...
No, that tells me they're planning a big celebration, that there's other things afoot.
I don't know. What it tells me is I've got like a bunch of her family coming in, and my wife has to work on Tuesday, so she's like, "Can you help me with dinner on Tuesday for Tuesday night?" Because once I get in, she's like,
Get your ass to work.
Right, and I'm like, I just want to get there and like, I want to be waited on. I want.
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, when I
want somebody to make me dinner.
What you have forgotten is that in your absence, many things have gone undone. So you're going to arrive hoping to be catered to and waited on. You're going to be handed a list of things that need to be fixed, taken care of, or have gone untaken care of since your last visit.
I think that's what's going to happen.
So that's just one of those things that sucks. You're winding down. You're halfway through. You're more than halfway done through this.
Yeah.
But you're almost done. But I would be, if I was you, I'd be giddy.
I am very excited. I'm very excited to get
on your
home.
way out. And then we get they're going to leave all the stuff up, right? You're going to have the tree up.
I don't know. I don't they don't need to do that. In fact, that's one of those other things. It'd be nice if it was all put away when I got there, because then I don't have to do it. Because that's my concern.
But it's Christmas now. They haven't had their Christmas.
They've had some Christmas.
Well, I know the boys, obviously. That would be completely unfair. But I'm sure there's a bunch of presents under the tree that they're looking at every day like, damn, come on, Pops.
Here's what – this is what's happening. I said, hey, did because my ring that the ring that I normally wear as a wedding ring is really a fitness tracker.
Me too. Oh, you wear the fitness tracker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's it died. And so
That's
I got
never a good sign.
A warranty replacement on it.
Uh-huh.
And it's being delivered up there. And so I asked my wife, hey, is my ring there? And she's like, I don't know. There's like 20 Amazon boxes at the door that like no one's gone through yet. So I don't think the presents are wrapped with care. I think it's going to be like an Amazon Christmas is what it's going to be.
Well, fair enough.
Which, whatever, man. As long as I don't have to wrap gifts, that's fine with me.
I had to wrap a few.
I'm the worst gift wrapper, like the worst. I waste a bunch of paper and a bunch of tape. It's bad.
I don't mean to brag. I'm pretty good.
I am dreadful.
2 pieces of tape. That's all I need.
That's what I hear. That's how I hear it's supposed to work, but it doesn't work that way for me.
Right.
I'm a big pay people to wrap presents guy.
I used to be that, but you don't see that much anymore.
No, you don't.
Because when you buy stuff online, they're not gonna. They're not. There's not the Boy Scouts on the other side of the page.
Yeah,
that's happily wrapping your gift for $5.
But you can find a place that'll do it.
But that means that only if I'm buying it from there. I'm not going to ever take my stuff to someplace else. But if I'm at a store, they're like, we're gift wrapping upstairs.
Bro, I'll show up like Santa Claus with a sack and just say, hey, man, $3 a present, huh? Here's 15. Like, dude, yeah, I got no problem with that.
No, man, I take great pride in my wrapping.
Wow.
My wrapping is stellar.
All right. Oh, gift wrapping, not I thought you were going to.
I spit rhymes like nobody's business. No, it's
drop that beat, Slick Vit.
Yeah, I'm the conscience of my generation, and it's certain through my words.
Yeah, I'm no good at it.
Vicious rhymes.
I don't even try to do it. I've oft had my wife wrap her own gifts, which I feel bad about, but
I even went and watched a YouTube video how to only use one piece of tape.
Dude,
it's a Japanese method. It's next level. I'd like to get into it, but you'd get a paper cut.
I've watched YouTube tutorials and I want to be good at it. I'm just not. It's not for me. I always misjudge the size of the paper I need. So I always have way too much paper, and then I'm like, oh, well, I'll cut that off. Well, now I cut too much. Mm-hmm. Now what? Now I've got to do a patch job. It's just, it never works.
Well,
it never works.
Yeah, some of us are just born with it, I guess.
Well, congratulations on being born with it. Yeah, that's not me. I just want to go up there and not do anything. I want to go up there and not have to do anything. I want it to be done for me.
It won't be that way.
I know.
And I'm just going to just prepare yourself for about 5 hours of Daddy's home, and now Daddy get to work.
But now they did say they went and got my dog groomed.
Oh.
So they were like, oh, she wants to put her,
she'll be pretty for
her
you.
Best paw forward when Dad comes home.
My dog, as we speak, is sitting in a kennel.
A kennel?
Oh, she's been daycared. She's been at the spa.
Oh.
Since Thursday. Well, we call it the spa.
She's been boarded.
Yeah, she's been boarded.
Okay. When it's today's pickup day?
Yeah, it'll be pickup day when I go get her.
Okay. Will she be freshly groomed?
Normally they'll groom her and do her nails. She's with the popular one, the one that's I'm not going to name it, but it's the one that everybody goes to.
Okay.
But I had to go to the downtown one.
Okay.
So, and normally I get like text updates about when I go to the one up close to my house over on 1604. They'll text like Avery's having trouble toning down. Avery has trouble with self-control. I get those texts from. I've heard nothing. I think it's just rougher downtown.
Yeah, she's built
amongst others.
This dog's built for the streets.
Built for the streets, so hanging down to the downtown version. She seems to have taken control of the bee kennel.
Yeah,
we need you to come pick her up. Or a riot starts.
We used to get those because my dog, our dogs would want to be boarded together, and which is tough to do because we have a giant dog and a not giant dog, but they want to be together. And the small dog will start fights because inevitably,
knowing full well that
they're like, well, so if we give them playtime together, the small dog has to go to the big dog play group.
That's who she plays with.
You can't go big dog to the small dog play group,
right?
Even though for my dog scenario that would be much smarter. But I guess liability concerns or whatever.
She's used to playing with the big dogs.
Yeah. So my wife's dog thinks that it is big, and it's not. And he wants to start mess with every big dog on the block.
Some dogs aren't here to play.
Right.
Some dogs think you want to tussle, we'll tussle.
And my dog, my big dog wants to play, but if you start mess with the little dog, now she's got a problem.
Right.
So anytime there's a report, it's usually Brisket started the fight and Cinna got involved. And
Well, they always talk to me like, your dog has trouble self-regulating. What am I supposed to do? Okay.
What?
I put him in therapy.
Self-regulating? Like, not a 2-year-old. And the other part, it's much like if, as a parent, we've all gotten this. If you ever had your kid in daycare, get a call from the daycare, your son's biting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bite him back.
He bites me too. What do you want me to do about it? How exactly? That's why I'm sending him to you.
Right.
So they don't bite me. Well, could you come pick him up? So I'm gonna have to leave work because my 2-year-old's biting.
Yeah.
And he comes back and he's covered in bites. Like, I don't get it. And you talk to me with my dog. Your dog doesn't regulate. No bleep.
Yeah.
Like that's why he's with you.
My cat also doesn't self-regulate, which is why, I give it 4 days worth of food, and that will be gone in 2 days because there's no self-regulation with animals.
Oh,
that's
that
just
cat.
not what
Yeah.
they do.
They eat till it's gone.
Well,
Yeah, she'll be 50 pounds heavier.
that
when
is
I
a
get there.
demanding cat.
Oh my God, she just doesn't shut up. And now that because I've gone, when I go to Houston or whatever, I'll put out the slow feeder for her, and she just crushes all that food. So now she's of the belief that her dinner portion is not enough. So she eats, and then she comes and starts bitching. I'm ready for some more food. What's up? Where's the food? And I'm like, I get away from me. I've got no time because she will not shut up. I told my wife, I said, next time we get a cat, if we ever get a cat again, I want that cat to have been rescued from a horrific house fire where its vocal cords were burned.
I'm never gonna have a cat,
And
I'm never gonna have one just because of that. Right?
It's
there.
it's a mute cat that is never. It can't meow. It wants to meow. It opens its mouth, but no noise comes out.
I want a Maine Coon.
Ugh.
No, I don't want.
Poor cat.
No such thing as a poor cat.
Come
No.
on.
No, this cat.
They're
This
all
dude, trust me, this
figuring
cat's
out-
got a good life.
They're all trying to kill us.
This cat's got a good life, and you be careful with those Maine Coons because Rob is right. Every cat looks at people the same way.
Yep. If I could,
Yeah.
Now,
I would right now, but I can't.
A
so I
lion
won't.
A lion will look at you and go, I can kill you and eat you.
Right now.
And he might do it if he feels like it. A house cat looks at you and says, I really wish I could kill you, but I can't, so I'm just going to make you open my can of food.
Yeah.
And wait until you're asleep.
But one day I'm going to get big enough. Like, I think in their mind, they think one day I'll be a lion and I'll be able to kill you.
Yeah.
So they are very difficult to trust.
Ever wake up and have your cat like just sitting there staring at you?
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
That's
Dude, when my alarm goes off, what do you think the first
No.
thing, like before I can pick up my phone,
never again, man.
that cat's in my face like, it's time to eat, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's open that can.
My cat's the same way.
I don't need a
Dude.
roommate.
Brutal.
I got a wife. I don't need
Well.
another roommate. I got.
Trust me, like you said, I'm on the
I
downslope.
want an animal that is overjoyed to see me, so much so that it'll pee itself. I want a dog so happy to see me that it'll pee itself. Not a cat that's like, where the hell you been?
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
All right. We got a lot to talk about, including, I guess we'll start with the Dallas Cowboys, who I don't know if they were the most embarrassing team yesterday. They were amongst them. And all of the stuff we've talked about for the last month about great effort and in games where it feels like they could have rolled over and quit, it feels like maybe some rollover happened. We'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, for the most part in good shape. A couple of trouble spots. Downtown 35 northbound Cesar Chavez Boulevard. That's a stall that's blocking the median. And then a disabled vehicle 35 southbound approaching Splashtown that they moved off to the right shoulder. So again, in good shape, traffic volume still light. But if you guys do see something we're not talking about, give us a call on the traffic tip line 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by KFC. 'Tis the season to fill your table and feed the whole family with KFC's Festive Feast. Get 6 original recipe tenders, 6 pieces of classic fried chicken, 2 sides, and 3 sauces for just $25.99.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
911, what's your emergency?
In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
Come to the South Texas RV Super Sale January 2nd through the 5th. Our dealers are loaded with RVs and they're making deals. Class A, B, and C motorhomes, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and travel trailers. For info and advance tickets, go to SouthTexasRVSupersale.com.
Listen up. The biggest savings are always at Mr. W Fireworks. Our prices are always more than 50% lower than the other guys.
And we never charge you hidden fees.
Look for the big W on our sign.
And find us online at MrWFireworks.com.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back, I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down. Get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
See the best of the best, the area's top high school senior players in the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. 118 All-Stars from 68 high schools will compete in the annual Alamo Dome Showdown, Saturday, January 11th, following the National Navy All-American Bowl. One ticket gets you both games, just $15, available at Ticketmaster. The San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. January 11th at 5 p.m. at the Alamo Dome.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, Jason Minix will make his return, and we'll wrap up everything that happened over the weekend. Big NFL weekend, a lot of playoff spots to be earned. We'll have a recap for you. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Showtime, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't hear enough cult. I need more cult in my life.
So after the Alamo Bowl on Saturday, I went with Minix. I rode with Minix to the Alamo Bowl. And
how was the swag?
It's like I got like a backpack and the same phone charger thing that you got last year.
Oh, dude, that's a good phone charger.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Backpack, I've got one, so I don't feel bad. But It's all about the swag for me. Sorry, go ahead. Go on.
So we go to the game. It is non-competitive.
I didn't see any of it. I saw the final score.
We sneak out. So we're there for halftime, and I say, so what's your appetite for more of this? I think it was 20-0 at halftime. And he's like, I think one more score and we'll roll out of here. Well, Colorado almost immediately throws an interception, and then BYU goes down and scores, and we're like, all right, let's head out.
So is this your first time in the Dome?
No.
Oh.
I've been to a couple Alamo Bowls. And then
I didn't know you'd been to bowls.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The last time I was at an Alamo Bowl
for Texas
was
games, right?
No. When I covered Texas, they were too good to play in the Alamo Bowl.
Well, lot up.
Yeah, all those Alamo Bowls happened after I left.
Some of us are proud to play in such bowls. The Liberty Bowl, the Poulet Weed Eater Bowl. We're honored.
The last time I went to an Alamo Bowl was RG3.
Okay,
so it's been a while.
That was a good game.
A wild game, yeah, much better than this game. So we roll out. Now it's 27-0. We're heading out. We see Coach Traylor on the way out. He's with his family.
Mm-hmm.
Minix introduces me to them.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And then we're headed home, and he's like, "Hey, I won't name the bar. I'm going out to this bar, watch some live music.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go?" And you know me. If you ask me to go do something, my default is,
yeah, I'm down.
What reason can I give to not do this?
Oh, so really? Okay.
I tried to, in my mind, I was trying to come up with some reason why I can't go out to this live music thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Minix is a bad influence.
He really is. I couldn't come up with one, so I was like, all right, I'll go. So I go, and I'm the third wheel. It's me and Jason and his wife. And we're at this bar where there's a band, and they're playing some.
I know the kind of bar that y'all
yeah.
went to. Yeah.
They're playing some 80s music.
Oh, I know. If they were playing 80s music.
I am easily the youngest non-employee in the building. And also.
Hey, now, slow down just a minute here. Before you start casting dispersions, I'm one of those old folks.
Yeah,
you're going to be slinging arrows at.
You are. But here's the thing. You would have been about medium on the scale of age there. There was like an old dude just vibing.
Nice.
Rocking. I mean,
you didn't happen to go see Finding Friday, did you?
I don't know what the band was called, but I will say there was also, and there was a large contingency of gay men there, and I can spot, so I could.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you could pass, but
no, no, they're not interested in me.
Well, you never know.
But I was like, Jason, is this normal? Is this a gay bar? And he's like, no. And then he looks around a little bit. He's like, but there are a lot here tonight. Like, yeah, more than usual. But this is unusual.
That normally means you're at a good party.
Yeah, maybe
I'll be honest, normally that's a good sign.
That's probably a good
vibe.
vibe.
I'm telling you, you had a good vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got wrangled into that. So great time.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So, did you get any numbers?
I did. I got plenty.
Let's get to the
I got
chase.
plenty. The other thing that's, Jason's wife is a very, very nice lady. She does, and Jason is also annoyed by this. It's the worst thing you can do is as soon as you get in an Uber, start talking to the driver like you guys are friends, and like she carries on like.
Although, dude, if you've ever gotten a negative rating, I do everything I can to please my Uber driver. I don't want to be turned down ever.
I think having that conversation is going to get you a lower score.
I read the room. But I got a bad Uber review, but not because of me. And it took me like 2 years to wipe it out so that if, when they check your review, that you don't get turned down.
What's your rating?
Wow.
I'm up near 5 now.
Okay.
I mean, but I got like a 0 because a couple of the idiots from this very building in L.A.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to go into it. Because my name was on the thing, I got a 0 review.
Oh,
and it took me years, and I didn't realize what was going on when I would order an Uber on when it was a surge period, and I kept getting turned down. But I realized it was my rating. So, man, I'll give flowers to an Uber driver. I'll bring them food.
Never taken an Uber.
You've never taken an Uber?
Never, ever. Never taken the bus. I've never taken the bus. I've never taken an Uber.
Well, I mean, you also don't drink, so you don't have
never
much
taken
need
the
to.
bus?
Never.
Like,
Ever.
period.
Via bus, nothing.
Not
Never
via ever? Not in the old days when we first could?
Nope. Always had a ride. Always had a ride or a car.
Wow,
I was
fancy.
spoiled. Yeah.
Park and ride?
I think I'd done it once.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe once. Yeah, that's right. One for Battle of Flowers. That was it.
I've taken my share of vias back in the day.
Never. I'm spoiled.
Dang.
You are.
Must be nice.
No kidding.
I don't even have the Uber app.
So,
how'd you get to work today?
My wife. She's going to work early, so she dropped me off.
She Ubered you.
Yes.
She Ubered me.
You have Ubered.
Damn.
Yeah. Have an app.
But yeah, I generally, I'll ride awkward silence the whole time. I don't need, I assume they don't want to talk to me either.
Well,
you have a serial killer vibe.
I do?
If you have your cap down a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Cap down.
Yeah, like put your cap down a little bit and just sit there quiet. See? Told you.
He looks like one of those guys that just decided on their own to go protect the border.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are we almost there?
Got his own camo vest and a shotgun and a dune buggy, and is like,
we need to stop and get some ammo on the way.
I've been deputized. I'm here to protect the border.
All right, enough of this nonsense. We got to talk these Cowboys on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, for the most part in good shape. A couple of trouble spots. Downtown 35 northbound Cesar Chavez Boulevard. That's a stall that's blocking the median. And then a disabled vehicle 35 southbound approaching Splashtown that they moved off to the right shoulder. So again, in good shape, traffic volume still light. But if you guys do see something we're not talking about, give us a call on the traffic tip line 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness.
There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-656-1155. That's 800-656-1155. 800-656-1155.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They
details. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Joe, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop! Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I like this. What is this, Vic?
Slayer. 6:30 in the morning, you got Slayer.
That's right, baby. You know who was Slayer last night? I guess yesterday was the Philadelphia Eagles. They slayed the Dallas Cowboys. All of this, I mean, I think we've all said, in the last month, said generally nice things about the Cowboys. Like, man, they are fighting in a way that maybe you wouldn't expect them to.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at them for yesterday.
Yesterday was
I'm not mad.
It was embarrassing.
Well, yeah. I mean, but it was.
I'm mad at them because I bet on them, first of all.
At what point you start asking the impossible? You start asking people to act as if one thing is not true, that their season is over, and to ask them to maintain that want to with there is zero benefit to most. Now, some need to put some good film up. Some need to put some film up to get paid next year.
And Rico Dowdle did that.
But others, they're just trying to get out of here alive. They are rats jumping off a sinking ship. All that, man, why go get hurt? Seriously, what is there in it for me if I'm a player under contract that I'm not going anywhere? I'm going to play as hard as I can, but I'm not these are grown-ass men. They're not guys that you can light a fire under and they're going to go run through a wall just because the coach got them fired up. This is a business, and right now, this is a run-out-the-clock situation.
It's hard to run out the clock on defense when you're playing Kenny Pickett.
Yes.
And, Mike Zimmer should pack his bag today.
Yes.
Like, at 41 points to Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, well, not all of Pickett. It was McKee as well, or whatever that kid was.
It doesn't get much more embarrassing than that.
It was exactly what I thought was going to happen last week, honestly. I really thought they would, and last week was a testament to, all right, let's give it one last shot. Let's give it what we've got and give it everything. I heard yesterday on the drive home, or the drive around Dallas as the game was going on, that they have 7 cornerbacks that have played 150 snaps or more on the Cowboys roster. 7. Now, I don't care what quarterback rolls out. When you're on your 7th cornerback, that's 4th string.
Yeah.
And when you're there, you don't have a prayer. You're putting on a helmet with a star on it, but you're not a Cowboy. You're barely a professional football player, So I'm not mad at them. I'm not proud of them. They didn't do anything to make me feel good, but this is about what I thought would happen, but it's a week later.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. But 3 turnovers in the first half.
Awful. I love me some Cooper Rush, but we know we are 100% aware of who Cooper Rush is. He is exactly and has done exactly what we've expected him to do. Is he going to turn the ball over? Yeah. Is it going to be in the worst possible time? For the most part. But he's also worth being, if not the highest paid, one of the higher paid backup quarterbacks in football because we know exactly who he is. He ain't going to make a difference. He's an even Steven at his finest. And when that first pick 6 happens, it's over. It's over. We can't throw it, and we can barely run it. It's over.
This is the list of how the drive results for the Cowboys yesterday. Interception return for a touchdown. 12-play, 70-yard touchdown drive to follow it up. I was like, whoa, okay, they're going to fight.
Mm-hmm.
The game is 7-7. So they threw a pick 6, and they said, oh, hell no, we're getting this back. And they got it back. I'm like, oh, okay.
They used all their good plays on that drive. That was it.
Yep. After that, punt, fumble, interception, punt, fumble, missed field goal, punt. That was it.
Well, one of them was, what was that, a 62-yarder, 61-yarder that he missed? Hit the crossbar?
I don't even.
Or hit the upright?
Hit the upright.
I'm not mad at him. I'll say this.
Which
it was
also,
a bit of an interview, though.
Don't try to kick a field goal when you're losing 41-7.
Well, he promised us a 70-yarder earlier in the year,
dude,
and he never did it.
Don't even try it.
We got one more
Just
week.
go. I don't care if it's 4th and 1,000,000. Just go for it.
You're not going to be here on Friday, but I guarantee you I'm going to push for the 70-yarder. There's only a few goals that we can go chase in the last game of the year. A 70-yard field goal Let's put an exclamation point at the end of this under 500 season.
If you're at 65, have Cooper take a knee.
Take a knee and kick it, man. What have you got to lose?
Just see if he can do it.
Let's say you want to. I remember when you told me just about 6 weeks ago, we want to finish our drives with a kick, and I don't care what kind of kick.
Yeah.
Well, 70-yard field goal, that's a kick.
Well, this was in a year where there have been some really, really ugly losses. This one ranks.
Feels like a bowl loss.
Near the top.
It felt like a bowl loss. Like it matters, kind of. But we all know it's all for naught. They are swirling at the bottom of the toilet, man. We're just about to wave goodbye to that turd. We got one more spin. One more circle around. Okay. But that turd's about to go away.
The combined score of the 2 games against the Philadelphia Eagles this year was Dallas 13, Philadelphia 75.
So while we all, everybody, I don't know about you, but wherever I go, people, do you think McCarthy?
Yeah.
Do you think yesterday had any sway on that?
No.
I don't think it did.
I think it might have had it on Zimmer, though.
You might be right, but even
you got somebody's head has to roll. Somebody has to roll.
Well, I was listening to Babe Laufenberg, and that on its own is difficult. But he did bring up something yesterday during the game. He said, at this time of the year when people come up to me and ask me who's going to win, I go, who's playing? And I agree with that. I mean, when you're under 500, you're not going to the playoffs, and you're looking at this game as a fan, are we going to win? Well, they're going to try hard, but let's look who's playing. And, again, I can't stress enough, 7 cornerbacks for 150 snaps. And, that forever, Mozzie Smith is getting
Kenny
better
Pickett
by the
played
day.
Quarterback.
Yes, Kenny Little Hands Pickett made you look awful. Yeah, they did. And no CeeDee Lamb. The stories on both sides are balancing to the point where this is a 500 football team. It might not, by the odd number schedule, but they're a 500 team, and they got beat by the 3rd best team in the NFC, 4th best in all of football, 5th best, depending on how you weigh Minnesota. I mean, they got beat by a really good team on the road. I'm not trying to defend this, but for us to be mad at a team that knew all was lost after a valiant performance last week, I'm just not going to go there. I've given up the ghost. I have, anything that happens from here on out does not matter to me. This is all about next year.
Well, that's what you've got to look forward to now.
It sucks, man. It sucks.
Washington Commanders next week, and the Commanders have clinched a playoff
and they're
spot.
Having so much fun. I hate watching teams I despise have fun, and Washington's having fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're winning games. That's fun.
And they're doing it in crazy-ass ways with a fun coach and fun players. Hell, even the Giants had fun.
The Giants had fun, maybe at a cost. I think both those teams warrant some conversation. We'll talk about the Commanders game next, since that was the most fresh game on everyone's minds. We'll do that. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we are the ones you can trust. With over 100 years of combined experience, we are committed to helping people in our local community. Get George Salinas Injury Lawyers and put our experience to work for you and your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
It's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app's really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport. Pick more or less on their projection, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40 states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to get the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
San Antonio, our community has one of the highest rates of domestic violence in Texas. We can help our neighbors break free from the cycle of abuse. A new city rule requires all public places to post domestic violence resource signs in all restrooms. This may be the only private place a person experiencing domestic violence can scan a QR code or memorize a phone number to get help. For more information, call 311 or visit sa.gov/DV signs.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Eric says that wasn't a bad loss. We're a bad loss, and the Eagles might be in the Super Bowl.
Maybe.
Eric, the Eagles might be in the Super Bowl, but if they are, I promise you Kenneth Pickett won't be slinging the pigskin for them.
You see what Micah did to him, though, man. That was a thorough destruction.
God. He is so bad at football, and he pulled his pants down and took a dump on the Cowboys is what he did. Man, sorry, dude.
If you can stand back there and wait all day. How many times did they throw to A.J. Brown before they got the touchdown? It was like, all right, that one didn't work. Let's try this one.
Let's just keep doing it again. Do it again, do it again, do it again.
Why don't you just put one hand up this time? Oh, no, let's try 2 hands.
The Commanders clinched a playoff spot last night as they've now won 4 straight games. It's funny, when they lost to the Cowboys, it was like the Commanders have it was the Cliff. Remember I was talking about they've hit the time of the year where Cliff is no longer effective. They just they turn into a pumpkin.
I still think you were right.
Well,
the game yesterday was Jaden Daniels and defense, and DQ style attack the ball.
Yeah,
defense. I'm not gonna go much further than that. I'm not gonna go give too much credit.
And what I'll give them the most credit for is the drive that they had in overtime. When you go, it's one thing to never let the other team have the ball in overtime, but if they would have kicked a field goal, like if they would have gotten stopped on third down and had to kick a field goal, the Falcons would have had 2 minutes to drive down and score. Like, they had almost an 8-minute drive in overtime. Like, that was the first possession of overtime, and it lasted the entirety of the overtime period. Like, that was impressive.
Well, that's Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
I mean, let's give some credit where it's due, although Atlanta is just the most confusing of all football teams. I just don't get anything that goes on that sideline, but that's for another day. Yesterday was Jaden Daniels, and I guess we have to give credit to Kellen Moore, but man, it just proved yet again that if you just don't have a quarterback, you just don't got a shot. You just, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter what you put out on the field, if your quarterback isn't at the very least hot, feeling it, you just don't have a prayer. No. You just don't. And yesterday proved it yet again. Atlanta should have been better. They didn't have a quarterback, and Jaden Daniels is, he's not quite a revelation, but man, oh man, he's really good.
He's pretty damn good. You'd like to have him. So, and like you said, Michael Penix making his second start ever.
He's a long way away, man.
And then, like, you look at the other side, and it's like, you've got a geography teacher, if like Kirk Cousins looking over there like he's,
I don't get
thinking
it.
about going home and taking care of his fish.
He should have been so much more. I don't understand that, but I don't want to get into what Atlanta is as they swirl down. It was a testament to what Dan Quinn coaches, the way he coaches. And that was a DQ kind of fly to the ball game, fun. They live on turnovers. That they're going to hit you hard and keep coming at you. And when you got a quarterback that can make a play like Jaden can out of anything,
but the thing is,
it just makes it so much easier.
It mattered for the Falcons.
It should have, and they just looked. That second half was embarrassing. I mean, I don't know what you do with that team. When we met all those guys from Atlanta when we were up in D.C. for Army Navy, and they talk about the franchise like we do. I mean, they don't understand what's going on in there. It just seems like a total shakeup is required, and anybody that works in administration just needs to go away because that franchise is just utterly adrift.
Yeah.
And then and it allows teams like Washington to have games like that.
And now the Falcons, who beat the Bucs both times, had the world was their oyster. All they had to do was get that win. They're going to the playoffs. Now they have to win next week and hope somehow that the Bucs lose to the Saints.
That ain't happening.
The Saints, who got their doors blown off by the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, there is no there there.
You lose by 20 to the Raiders, and you're bad. Spencer Rattler sucks. There's some real bad quarterback play right now in the NFL. And speaking of that, when we come back, I am going to it might not be the last dirt I throw on the grave of Aaron Rodgers, but I am certainly going to kick some more on it and probably urinate on his tombstone. That's where we've gotten in the Aaron Rodgers experiment. It is ugly. It is a nightmare. Unless you enjoy watching Aaron Rodgers fail like I do, and then it's amazing. Every week is a new high for me. But we'll talk about that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. South Texas College Football Headquarters is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And The most wonderful time of the year for fans. Bowl season is no exception. The biggest and best matchups this bowl season are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, The Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear them all on South Texas' first and only FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Listen up! Mr. W Fireworks always has the lowest prices.
That's right. Mr. W Fireworks prices are always more than 50% lower than anyone else around, and we never charge you any hidden fees.
Look for the big W on our sign and find us online at MrWFireworks.com.
The South Texas RV Super Sale is back at Expo Hall to Freeman, and boy, do we have a great show this year. Our dealers are loaded with RVs, and they're making deals. A full array of Class A, B, and C motorhomes, gigantic fifth wheels, toy haulers, and travel trailers. So go on over to SouthTexasRVSupersale.com and buy tickets in advance. No need to wait in line. We'll see you Thursday, January 2nd through Sunday the 5th at Expo Hall. The South Texas RV Super Sale is back. Doors open daily at 10. SouthTexasRVSupersale.com.
Looking for the ultimate way to ring in the new year? Join us for Under the Stars at Pat O'Brien's in downtown San Antonio. Celebrate 2025 in style. In our grand ballroom, indulge in chef-created heavy appetizers with a premium open bar from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. and a champagne toast at midnight to welcome the new year. Access all Pat O's offers. Rock out to live music on the patio. Sing your heart out in the karaoke room and cheer on the dueling pianos in the bar. This New Year's Eve, party the night away with Pat O'Brien's.
Tickets just $125. For more details, go to PatO'Briens.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. A free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best-tasting water you've ever had. Better for your coffee maker, better for cooking, better for everything. Free with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, but only for a limited time.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
And is the last water softener you'll ever own. Right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking water station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com. and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, for the most part in good shape. A couple of trouble spots. Downtown 35 northbound Cesar Chavez Boulevard. That's a stall that's blocking the median. And then a disabled vehicle 35 southbound approaching Splashtown that they moved off to the right shoulder. So again, in good shape, traffic volume still light. But if you guys do see something we're not talking about, give us a call on the traffic tip line 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Spurs fell to the Timberwolves last night, 112-110 in a squeaker. Wemby led the way with 34 points and 8 rebounds. The Cowboys fell to the Eagles as Philly became the NFC East champs, meaning the 21st consecutive year no team has repeated as the NFC East division champ. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rolling on Morning Huddle on a Monday. Somebody's got a case
Do you
of
have
the
a case of the
Mondays?
Mondays? I believe I'm going to have to kick your ass. By the way, my wife is a culprit of this. She is probably the worst offender.
Uh-oh.
For those of you that are on the road driving someplace over the river and through the woods, get out of the damn left lane if you're not doing at least 10 miles over the speed limit. And even if you are, that doesn't mean you get to stay there.
No, you got to watch behind
Get
you.
out of the way. The number of idiots pulling trailers in the left lane, like pickups pulling
that
trailers.
shouldn't happen.
It's just we should have the right to citizens arrest.
Yeah, on the highway, I drive in the left lane a lot, but I also drive fast.
I get out of the way, man.
But
If you want to come up on me, I will get out of your way.
Yep.
Now, on the same thing, I expect that from you.
Yeah, I expect the same courtesy.
By the way, I set a new personal best.
Congratulations.
I believe, to my best calculations, I did Farmers Branch to San Antonio in the Cannonball Run style of 4 hours and 12 minutes. 4
That's
hours and
strong
12
work.
minutes. And that's with a stop.
Strong
I
work.
could have gone sub 4.
But your wife had to pee?
She had to pee. We had to, stop at Buc-ee's. I had to
Okay.
get some,
Oh, you stopped at Buc-ee's
I had to
even?
get some glazed nuts.
Damn. I mean, Buc-ee's that's a slow stop.
I know it was a slow stop, but yesterday, pretty proud of the vehicle. The pit crew worked out well.
Well done.
I had to pee in a bottle.
It
Twice,
happens.
But
that's life.
4 hours
man.
and 10 minutes. That meant no kolaches, though.
That's a tough break.
We all make sense. Well, not a break. It's a sacrifice. If you want to achieve greatness, sometimes you got to give some stuff up.
Fair enough. Speaking of greatness, nobody knows greatness more than Aaron Rodgers. Maybe that doesn't work. I don't know.
That don't sound right.
Aaron Rodgers yesterday took the kind of beating that he has pretty much never taken in his career. He had a couple personal bests yesterday. First of all, it was the first time in his long, illustrious career that he ever trailed by 40 points in a game that he started.
Yeah, there is that.
They were down 40-0. And when they were down 40-0, he went over to the coach and said, hey, we probably want to get some reps for Tyrod, huh?
Anybody else?
And the coach was like, all right, I guess so. So Tyrod Taylor comes in, and what's he do? 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Well, maybe Aaron has his thumb on the pulse. Maybe Aaron knew something that.
He also set a career record. I won't say a career best, but a career record for lowest QBR in a game of his career. Do you want to guess what Aaron Rodgers' QBR was yesterday?
58.
Oh, that
Is that too low?
no,
Is that
no,
too high?
that's too high.
Really? 35.
No, so actually last week against the Rams, he had a 36.3, and that was pretty good. That was pretty rough. Against Buffalo yesterday, 1.2.
One?
Well, so, I mean, as bad as Aaron is, tell me,
No way.
do you think the other, is it just him?
No, the whole team's quit.
Well, they've quit.
They're
They've
losers.
Quit, but have they quit on him? Is it
Yes.
because of him?
No, it's partly because of him. It's a whole it's a great mashup of things. Like, I tweeted this yesterday, and I fully believe it. If you were gonna have a movie like a la Bad News Bears or Major League about like a sad sack franchise that like just can't get out of their own way and they're just a joke in every way, it would be the Jets. I want everyone. I want to take a trip down memory lane. Let's all remember back to the beginning of this year. The Jets were, I think, the fourth favorite to win the Super Bowl. It was Chiefs, 49ers, Lions, Jets. Like, think about that.
Well, okay. Well, why was that?
Because people are morons.
No, I'm not saying because they're morons. What was the reason? And there were plenty of reasons.
The
why
thought
they thought
was,
so.
what everybody told me was, this team is a quarterback away from being great. And last year, they would have been great if Aaron wouldn't have gotten hurt. Now, me, as a person with a brain in my head, said, well, now Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old, coming off a major, major injury, and we expect him. And by the way, the last time we saw Aaron Rodgers pre-injury, he wasn't that good. He was bad enough that Green Bay was like, yeah, go on, bub.
Yeah.
And that guy was supposed to win a Super Bowl?
Well, the thought was that he didn't have to be the old Aaron Rodgers. They had Garrett Wilson on one side, and they felt like they had the other side figured out. They had running back healthy again. They had a defensive line that they felt like they'd augmented. They had a defense they felt like was solid enough, and a coach in Robert Saleh who seemed like a guy who could weather a ship through troubled waters because he was this calm, collected kind of dude. And in every one of those, they were wrong. I mean, and it wasn't just – they weren't reaching. I don't think they were reaching as Jets or Jet fans. I don't think it was a far reach to go, we don't need the Aaron Rodgers of 2013. We don't even need that. All we need is somebody to complete 60% of their passes and only throw 8 to 10 interceptions this year. And if we can do that, we could be there because the AFC is a bit down. And in every instance, they were wrong. Whether it was fool's gold, they assumed something that was not going to be true, and they just wished it to be, and it wasn't, which was Aaron. Others were, injuries. Others were solid, turned out not to be that good. Turns out the owner is an absolute idiot.
Dude, I think in hindsight, and again, it's hindsight, I think firing Saleh was
probably a mistake.
But
he should have been able to settle the ship.
The team was wrong.
Well, I think he should have been able to fix a problem early on, and he let the fire get out of control. I think if he'd have been a little bit sterner with Rodgers back in the summer when, he was ayahuasca stuff and all that, I think it started back then. When they do the postmortem, they look back on what happened to the Jets. It was Saleh was forced to let Aaron Rodgers do things that other players don't get to do. And everybody looked at him like, well, you better live up to this, brother.
He
You
had
better
too
be
much
bringing
power.
it. Yes, you better be bringing it because we're watching you do everything you can to kind of force yourself to trip. You're walking around with your shoes untied because of the way you're acting. You're not preparing. You're going to have to be the best Aaron Rodgers possible just to be the average guy we're hoping for. And he didn't give it that. So looking back, I understand where we got there. And it is an idiot organization that gets himself in this situation because it's one bad decision leads to 2 more bad decisions, leads to 4 more bad decisions because that very first one you made.
bringing Aaron Rodgers into your organization was the mistake.
And in hindsight, yeah, they're right. But I'm not going to go like we all should have seen it. I'm not going to go there because there was enough reasons for hope that I can go, I see why they thought that. In hindsight, you go, God, what were they thinking? But in the time,
it was trying to get a quick fix.
Because, well, yes, but last year without him, they weren't awful. And you could go, well, if Aaron was just average Aaron, if he was healthy, there's 3 games we would have won. And if those 3 games won, that suddenly means momentum. And suddenly maybe there's a 4th game we would have won. So I get the reasons for optimism. But the way that they've handled this season, where the coach gets fired and Aaron is still calling shots, pulling himself out of games, the guy shouldn't even started. And your head coach should have realized the cat's not in it. Like, he thinks he's in it, but he's not.
He's a broken man.
He's broke. And he broke himself, and we broke him too.
And anybody who thinks like bringing him back next year is a good idea, like you're fooling yourself. It is not getting better. If a 41-year-old quarterback is this bad, I got news. A 42-year-old quarterback's going to be worse.
I can tell you this. He has played. If he pulled himself out this week, I don't care if you think you're going to be coaching here next year. I don't care if your beard is on the line. You cannot start him next week.
There's no way.
You can't look at yourself in the mirror or the rest of your team and start the guy that pulled himself after he was getting beat too bad. That you want to prove your stripes. How are you when things are on their absolute worst and you freaking quit? And goodbye and good riddance.
And you have to accept that means he's not on your team next year either. And he's
done.
It's over.
And somebody else is going to pick him up.
But
there's
oh God, I can't wait to find out who it is.
Jacksonville might be, Atlanta. I'm telling you,
I can't.
There's a team that will pay him to go,
and I'm going to point and laugh at them all next year and say, "How could you have thought this would work?" He doesn't. Everybody who said, "Well, Tom Brady could do it. Tom Brady did it. Why can't Aaron Rodgers do it?" Like. Again, I always say the easiest way to put into perspective what football means to these guys is Tom Brady gave up his family to have like a 9-8 season with Tampa Bay.
And a supermodel at that.
Yeah, he gave up his supermodel wife and his family to go have one more mid-season in Tampa. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers skipped out on training camp because he'd already made plans to go on a drug trip to Egypt. And he didn't want to cancel that. I know it's training camp, but it's like, it's that guy. I've already made an appointment with the shaman. There's levels to, like, if you're going to keep playing football into your 40s, nothing else in the world can matter to you.
And we should have seen it right then and gone. It's not going to work. We should have, in hindsight, we should have looked at that seminal moment back in July where we went, oh, well, this isn't going to work. This is going to be a failure.
Could I have yelled it louder from the mountaintops?
It's coming. The moment you missed that, everybody around him should have gone, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
No one wanted to believe me.
Did he just say he's missing an OTA to go take some drugs in South America?
To go do drugs.
This isn't going to be good, guys. This is going to be bad.
It was really important for me to go to Egypt and do drugs.
You did what? Uh-oh.
It's like that insurance commercial where he's like, James, what are you doing? The scout from football college is in the stands. And he's like, maybe I'm not a football guy.
I want to be an insurance man.
Maybe I'm a drug guy. I didn't raise no drug guy, but you did, Dad.
I want to host a game show.
I'm a drug guy. I do ayahuasca and host Jeopardy.
Well, so what you do is you just file that away. And then the next time a guy shows up and does that, you go, this isn't going to work. I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen this before. It ain't going to work. Because I don't think when we were, I had to listen to a lot of the Cowboy game. And my wife
you
was
lucked out.
Well, you listen to Brad Sham and Babe, and you get this commentary. And my wife's like, how can they be getting beat this bad? And because the difference in being good and bad in the NFL is about a quarter of a second. I mean, you're only a quarter of a second away getting beat 41-0. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot just to get your ass kicked when you're playing at this level.
Yeah.
And, you know, teams think that they're trying hard. I used to tell my kids, you think you're trying hard. You really do believe you're giving everything you got, and you're not.
No.
But in your mind, you think you are, but you don't have anything to gain in this game. So you're going to do everything you can, but you don't give it that little bit extra that means the win. And I keep going back to a speech that's not even real, but it's that Pacino speech in the football movie.
Any Given Sunday.
And it's about that little inch. And it's so true that it doesn't take much to be bad. It's just it's a quarter of an inch, and you've given away 3 touchdowns. It's just that little. And when you see a team like the Jets, they think they're trying hard. Legitimately, they showed up and thought this was the week. And you think you're trying, but you're not, because there's not enough at stake. You're not invested enough. And the Cowboys were another example yesterday. They thought they were trying hard, but there wasn't enough at stake. There wasn't that thing that was going to push in the turbocharger to really go out and get something done that had to be done, like they did the week before.
To me, what's great about this is not only did Aaron Rodgers submarine their season, he may have done it to their franchise, because now Garrett Wilson is like, I want out of here. Garrett Wilson doesn't want to be around anymore. Sauce Gardner, they said, somebody got on Sauce Gardner's Instagram, was like, you should ask T. Higgins to come to the Jets, and Sauce Gardner said, I would not ask him to do that.
It's bad, but I think that's more about they've got Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not coming back to this. I'm not coming back to this. Who was it that called him out on ESPN last week? Graziano? I think it was Dan Graziano. And rightfully so. I think we've reached the point, and you saw it before most, that the emperor has no clothes. That we have all come to the realization that
he's a fraud.
He's a fraud, an utter and absolute fraud, and some of us bought it. I'm a victim. I figured you don't got to be great, Aaron. Just be average, Aaron. And he's not even capable of that, nor does he want to be. And that's what's so galling, is he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He laughed yesterday when they told him, which the other record that he set yesterday, he is now the most sacked quarterback in NFL history. And he giggled.
Sure,
he giggled. And, I at least beat Tom on that one. It's like, dude.
I'll say this.
He is such a phony.
We're going to miss him when he's gone.
Oh,
and he's going to be gone soon enough.
I will miss kicking him while he's down every day. This could not be happening to a better guy. This is exactly.
Who was the last NFL guy like this?
It was this unlikable. It was Brett Favre.
Well, at least Brett.
Yes.
It's
like a lineage of Green Bay Packers quarterback.
Even with the Jets, they were mildly competitive.
Yeah.
But, Aaron has not even lived up to that. I mean, an abject and absolute failure, but the rhetoric seems to try to prove the other. I mean, I'm trying to figure somebody that has been this absolute much of a collapse.
I can't come up with one. I know, a good example of it is Kirk Cousins this year.
But I don't dislike Kirk. He's
no one
vanilla
dislikes
ice cream.
Kirk.
You're like,
you can't dislike Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins is like a normal human. And it's like, when you see a normal human struggling and failing, unless you're like a sociopath, you feel bad for them. Like Kirk, I'd like to see Kirk Cousins win. He seems like a good dude. Aaron Rodgers, I can't experience joy when he has good things in his life. I have to, the only thing that brings me happiness is to watch him be miserable.
I don't think you're going to have him to kick around anymore. He will get a contract offer from another team. He's going to be released from the Jets, and he's going to dally with another team. He'll probably show up for an OTA or two, but I think his career's done. I do. I think that he'll land someplace that's desperate. They'll realize it, or he'll realize it, that I'm not in it anymore, and it'll be over.
The other guy, the one other example of a guy who has just fallen off the face of the earth and just can't do anything right anymore. And again, it's another guy who you can't cheer for, and if you cheer for him, you're the serial killer. Is Deshaun Watson?
Yep.
Deshaun Watson, literally a guy who's been accused of multiple sexual assaults, is the only guy you can compare to what's happening with Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. And Aaron didn't commit a crime. He's just a well, there's a lot of words I would like to use.
He's just a tool.
But speaking of, at least Deshaun got the lay of the land. Yeah, I'll renegotiate.
Yeah,
that or nothing. I think I'll renegotiate.
Although, I mean, when it's that or nothing, what nothing means is you're going to pay me all my money to leave. Okay, like he could have done that.
Maybe.
I mean, it's guaranteed is guaranteed. If he could have gotten all that money and never played football again.
It tells me that Haslam did everything he could behind the scenes with private investigators. He just couldn't come up with enough stuff to get away with. We're not paying you because you tarnished the Shield defense.
All right, I got to tell you guys about Karbach Brewing. Oh, sweet, sweet Karbach. Yeah, I drank the bar out of Karbach the other night with Minix. They were like, "Yeah, we're all out of Crawford Bach." I drank every one that they had and had pleasure in doing it. But guys, you can get, and again, like I say, I'm out at some random bar. I asked if they've got Karbach. Yeah, of course they do. Got it on tap. They've got it in cans. And that's basically the case all around San Antonio. You want that fine, fine nectar, you can find it in San Antonio, whatever your thrill may be. If it's Hopadillo, you like the hoppy stuff, that one is widely available. Love Street is their Kolsch-style blonde, super easy drinking, great intro beer into craft, and that's available pretty much everywhere. That's their best-selling beer. And then, of course, Crawford Bach, which is my favorite, all over the city. Guys, you can find it at liquor stores and grocery stores, obviously, but bars and restaurants will have it too. You just got to ask them. So when you're out and about in the new year, please ask your bartender, make it a Karbach.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. C.J. Stroud, Christian McCaffrey, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale now at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
The Gomez Law Firm is one of the most trusted names in personal injury law across the state of Texas. We have Jose here with the Gomez Law Firm to share what makes working with your firm different than others in the area.
You know, we pride ourselves as being an open line of communications. We don't have an automated service. You're not going to ever dial our phone number and get some robot on the other line. You're always going to get a person 24/7. Our principal office is here in San Antonio. Mr. Gomez was born and raised here, practicing law here in San Antonio in his community for 50 years. There are not many attorneys that can say that.
Thank you to the Gomez Law Firm for continuing to fight for our community. The Gomez Law Firm is San Antonio.
If you've been injured, if you've been involved in an accident, you've been involved in a car wreck, call the Gomez Law Firm.
Visit joegomezlaw.com. That's joegomezlaw.com for one of the most trusted names in personal injury.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-9047.
Don't lose hope.
TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-9047. That's 800-575-9047.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's showtime. Let's do it. It's fun time. Here we go.
South Texas home of the 12-team college football playoff is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. All of the matchups are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear every game on South Texas' first and only FM sports station. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You watched 6 Harry Potter movies in one day?
Well, that's part of the in the week between Christmas and New Year's. I don't know if you've gotten the manual, but you're supposed to either watch the entire series of either Star Wars, or Harry Potter.
Vic always chooses Star Wars. He's watched,
or they now allow some of the Hobbits because they're like 4 hours long. But you have to watch the complete series of your favorite movies,
like Halloween.
Halloween's a good one, but you can't watch 14 of those. But you can watch a series, or you have to watch the entirety of a TV series. You have to binge. I don't know, but that's just part of the rules that you between Christmas and New Year you have to do that. And I just got it out of the way early.
I don't like movies about wizards.
You don't do no wizards.
I don't like magic and wizards. I don't like that. So I've never seen a Harry Potter movie, not one. I've never read a Harry Potter book.
That's weird. I thought maybe at least one.
Not one. And when people say like, House Rumpelmints or whatever, like I don't know what any of those mean. And like,
he was pretty close. That was a worthy effort he just gave.
I always think whatever those things. Whenever they say those things,
Slytherin, and Hufflepuff. Those are the three houses.
There we go. When they say those, I'm like, I don't know what like it. When they ask you what house would you be in, I'm like, what?
Would you play Quidditch?
No, I would kick your ass if I went to school with you, buddy. That's what I'll tell you.
Okay.
That sounds like a Slytherin house to me.
Yeah,
I think you're Slytherin.
I would just hit you. How about that? And then
he's definitely Slytherin.
You puffle huff all the way to the principal's office.
Hufflepuffs,
you little bitch.
They are. They're the Hufflepuffs are the little bitches of the. But Gryffindor, come on now.
Yeah,
Godric Gryffindor.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff. But so when you're like, we watched 6 Harry Potter. What? 6 Harry Potter
Well, they were
movies?
on in the background. But
I didn't even know there were 6 Harry Potter
There's 7.
movies.
We couldn't get all the way through. We couldn't close out.
Oh, man.
We didn't make it to where he who must not be named is finally killed.
Yep. Starts with a V.
Oh, great. Now that you guys ruined the movie for me,
Well,
I guess I don't need to watch
I didn't tell you what happened.
You said he's killed.
I said that we didn't get to the episode where he should be finally killed.
Oh, he should
Well,
be.
he dies.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot.
I didn't mean to spoil the plot.
Thanks a lot.
Kinda dies.
Kinda. He could come back.
Is it Venom?
No. But he is kind of a snake.
I was like, imagine if it was a mashup between Harry Potter and Marvel, and like the Spider-Man universe went into Harry Potter.
I don't think either needs the other.
Oh, that would be good.
I don't think either needs the other. Both of them are equally outlandish.
Well, I like Spider-Man. I don't like Harry Potter.
If you could watch, and I'm going to eliminate Breaking Bad, the greatest TV series of all time.
Yeah.
If you could rewatch any other series and not know and get to experience for the first time again, to binge between now and next Monday.
The problem is, like, the great series I've already watched multiple times.
What I'm saying is, which one do you wish you hadn't seen and you could go watch again?
The Wire. I think The Wire is the best show ever. I think it's better.
I was going to say Game of Thrones.
The Wire had one bad year where they were dealing with the docks in Baltimore. That one was a little weak.
I look at the last year as the bad one. The season 5.
That was the bounce back.
Season 5 is because season 4 is like the greatest season of television that's ever been written.
Look out, Omar coming.
Although True Detective season 1 is in that discussion too, but season 5 where like he's faking the serial killer thing,
yeah,
like that's
that got
the
a
bad
little weird.
thing.
Yeah,
but the Wire is such a great.
I'm with that one. I think that would be probably 1 or 2.
Sopranos is
that
always
would be
a good
my other one. That'd be the other one that I'd go. But Game of Thrones is a worthy.
Game of Thrones sucked at the end. Nobody likes to talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, last season no, but up to 7.
Like, but if your last season is garbage, like. Especially if there's like this grand finale, like we all built up to this. I remember I was so mad the day, and my old co-host who loves wizards and things like he was into the same stuff you are. He loved Game of Thrones. I loved Game of Thrones for different reasons.
It was the sex.
I liked violence, and I liked seeing Khaleesi's boobies. Like that was good.
Yeah.
But then what I don't like is when there was an episode on the final season that was the whole thing was shot in the dark.
I know the one you're talking about.
You could not see a freaking thing. And then everyone acted like it was on me to adjust my TV settings. I'm like, dude,
go in a darker room.
I've been watching this show every week, and now all of a sudden I got to turn down my contrasts to watch this episode?
Nope.
Suck it. You blew this.
They did. The last season. But, the thing about the last season was it wouldn't have happened but for the fans. I mean, everybody was so upset that the dude hadn't even finished the book.
Well, that guy's lazy,
Yeah,
by the
he
way.
was lazy.
He's a big, fat, lazy
So
slob.
it wouldn't even have happened but for the fact that we had to have
he should have
closure.
gotten to work.
Oh, he should have.
That's what he should have done.
He should have.
But that's someone said, Tony says SOA. Sons of Anarchy, another show that the ending was so bad.
Or the Mayans.
The ending was so bad that I can't even like take the whole show seriously anymore.
I only watched the first season of that. Maybe I should dive into that one.
Sons of Anarchy?
Mm-hmm. I watched the first year.
Yeah, it's all right.
Then I lost it.
I watched the show last night, a movie with Juice in it. Juice from Sons of Anarchy. Was in the Carry On.
Carry On, yeah.
The Netflix show with Jason Bateman.
He was a computer nerd in the
he's
band.
He's a computer nerd and the sniper. Yeah, but
he took some dudes out. Man.
Yeah, he's a bad dude in that movie. That's a pretty good movie. I like that movie.
It was good. Anything Bateman's in.
I don't really like that actor, the other actor.
I don't mind him. He was the one in Knightsman.
Yeah, the main character.
Kingsman.
I don't know his name.
Kingsman. He's got a very British name. He's very, very British.
He looks like Obi-Wan.
I don't like him. I don't particularly like him. I also thought like his girlfriend should have been prettier.
She was pretty smoking hot, man.
Well, she was okay. She's like a 7.
Sophia Carson,
a 6 or 7. Right?
Taron Egerton is the dude you don't like.
Oh, I like him less now that's his name. Taron Egerton.
Yeah, he's very British, and this is the.
Yeah, I wasn't all that attracted to her.
She's got a little kind of a.
Yeah, she's just like
kind of a.
Like a.
Yeah. And if I would have written that movie, I would have made her a little bit more pregnant.
A little more?
Because then it would have felt like the risk factor was up. Like I would have made it feel like she was like
she's to be wobbling down
she's
the
like
hall,
5 months pregnant, and this guy's got a red dot on her forehead. Like he might blow her head off and kill that baby. Everybody's scared to kill babies in TV and
that's
movies.
That's a good rule of thumb. I'm happy that's.
I really thought that in Game of Thrones that was going to be their move. Was like, how are we going to shock people next? You're going to have to kill a baby. Like you have to, like that's the way to do it. If I wrote
something unbelievable,
if I was writing a horror movie or some terrible serial killer movie, I'd make him kill a baby, and people would be
putting
outraged.
Guys on these X crosses and flaying them. Was it enough for you?
I mean, that's but
you
what's the
needed
next
to see
level?
A dead baby?
A dead baby is the next step, right?
A guy getting his nuts eaten off by a dog.
But would you agree that a dead baby, they didn't want to go there? They could have. They
The
could
red
have.
wedding?
That was their chance to show the dead baby. They didn't do it.
They didn't do it. Yeah.
They couldn't do it. They could show a guy getting his nuts eaten off by a dog,
What about
not the dead baby?
A dead little person.
That's different. That's a full-grown man, but he's just he's.
Oh, it's not about size. It's about age.
It's about age.
Oh, okay.
It's about age.
All right. Well, I need to know the line.
Yep. All right. Now you know.
Where it need to be.
All right. We'll get back into football on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
Dr. Jacob Torres is my doctor. He has been for quite some time. I first met him when I was trying to lose some weight. And in this era of semaglutides and all this other kind of stuff that's doing great things for a lot of people, but that's not for everyone. Some of us, are not in a situation that have gotten the healthcare industry to pay for things like that. We need to lose our weight in different ways. And Dr. Torres is on the forefront of the best way to lose weight because he has adopted the tried and true method of fewer calories than you burn. You're going to lose some weight. But how he's gone about it and made it so successful for people like us that really haven't been too successful in the weight loss era. Some of us, we never tried and couldn't lose weight, didn't ever want to lose the weight, never thought about it until a doctor told us. But regardless of where you are, as you close out 2024, if it's time for you to lose some weight and you want to do it the old-fashioned way and keep it off, I can't recommend Dr. Torres and the Institute for Functional Health anymore. Because not only do they function in a way with you with your weight loss, but they work with you. You got cheerleaders on the side. You've got the medical side of it. And you got the psychological side of it as well. Dr. Torres and his staff are going to coach you through it, work you through it, and do everything required to help you make the right decisions to start losing some weight. If it's time, I want you to go to their website. It's iffhealth.com. Go and just read through it. Take the functional health test. I promise you, open your eyes. But nothing will be more convincing than just talking to him. Free call. Call Dr. Torres and meet him. The number's 210-468-1891. Let him explain to you why he's been so successful with goofballs like me. If it's time for you to lose weight and you want to have 2025 your healthiest year ever, call Dr. Torres today, change your life, and when you do, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. 35 southbound approaching Splashdown. That stall is still there. Now off to the right shoulder. Downtown, 35 northbound Cesar Chavez Boulevard. Disabled vehicle that's blocking the median. And on the far north central part of town at 281 southbound, that connector to 1604. We do have a minor accident. That connector ramp partially blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
It's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app's really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport. Pick more or less on their projection, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40 states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to get the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Looking for the ultimate way to ring in the new year? Join us for Under the Stars at Pat O'Brien's in downtown San Antonio. Celebrate 2025 in style. In our grand ballroom, indulge in chef-created heavy appetizers with a premium open bar from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. and a champagne toast at midnight to welcome the new year. Access all Pat O's offers. Rock out to live music on the patio. Sing your heart out in the karaoke room and cheer on the dueling pianos in the bar. This New Year's Eve, party the night away with Pat O'Brien's.
Tickets just $125. For more details, go to PatO'Briens.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Lowest prices, biggest selection. Lowest prices, biggest selection. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have always offered the lowest prices on fireworks. And we always will. We never charge additional hidden fees, and we always price our fireworks more than 50% less than the other guys. When you shop at Mr. W Fireworks, you can be sure you are getting the lowest prices around. And the biggest selection. Look for the big W on our sign. Or visit MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you. Happy New Year!
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out our tractor package deals. We're offering 0 down and 0 APR financing for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package specials at ewaldkubota.com.
Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Check down 1979. Billy Corgan. He's a loon.
I was going to say the same thing. That is one weird cat.
He's a weird dude, but I think musical, like, genius gets thrown around way too much. He's literally a genius when it comes to music. I respect the hell out of him, but he's a weird dude. And apparently very difficult to get along with.
Most geniuses, I think, are that way.
Yeah. Speaking of musical genius, I want to go watch that Bob Dylan movie.
Do you think? Okay, how, do we know the numbers on this? Have they had a good? I hope they have. And I'll be honest, I didn't think I cared. Quite frankly, but I'm kind of thinking I might.
I saw the numbers, and when you see where they're at in the rankings, it's like, okay, well, but the number one movies, and this is what you always have to remember. Any movie that is not a cartoon or superhero movie is like on a different level.
Right.
So,
especially over the holidays.
Number one was
Moana, probably, or something Disney-esque.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 made $38 million.
Well, because I'm getting the kids out of the house. I'm buying 5 tickets and leaving them there.
Disney's Mufasa made 37. So this is over the 3-day weekend. Then the next two were Wicked and Moana 2.
Yeah, see.
So that's your top 4.
And that's all for kids. So what's the one for adult movie? What's leading the way?
Nosferatu.
I want to see that.
I want to go see it bad. 21.1 million. Their 5-day was 40.3, which is pretty good. And then the Complete Unknown had a 3-day of 11.6 million, 23.2 million for the 5-day.
I will say this. I don't think I will miss much by not seeing it in the theater. I think I'll probably get the same effect at home. Now, a lot of movies I need to be in the theater, like Gladiator, need to kind of be there.
I think that's fair.
I don't know if I need to be in the theater to see the...
But I do want to be in theaters for Nosferatu.
Yeah, that's the other one. I kind of want to be in it and get all of the sense stuff. But, I was talking to my nieces and nephews about that movie, and they're kind of like, so who is this Bob Dylan?
Oh, my God.
And you play someone like, let's listen, and they're like, there's a blackbird singing, and you're like, oh, God. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of before my time, too. I read some beat poet stuff, but that's not my genre, It really hasn't been, and I've never really enjoyed Dylan. In fact, I saw him with you for the only time in my life. I actually can say I saw him live.
Yeah.
But I can't say I understood a word he said.
You saw kind of a shell of Bob Dylan.
I mean, I heard him say indecipherable lyrics, but it's cool.
How does it feel?
Yeah, so that's it. I was like, that's the song that we all know about him, but Chalamet's just a dream. Have you looked into his eyes?
I want to see that movie, but if I have to choose to which one I'm going to see in theaters, it's going to be Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. I just like saying it.
I like to say that too. I've heard very good things about it. I made a decision. I was going to go watch it last night, but I had to, so I kind of told myself I want to watch it in IMAX.
We had a discussion. Now, Nosferatu is a vampire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer the vampire with the vampire fangs, like ones on the edge, like your canines that are long.
Yeah.
Now, the original Nosferatu had his fangs were in the middle. They were like rabbit butts. That's not scary.
And he's like the old Nosferatu was like the big long
kind
head,
of drawn
bald.
out. See that? I don't like that vampire.
I don't think he's like that in this movie.
I like the smooth talking.
This is not Nosferatu is not a sexy vampire.
See, I like the dudes that
I like terrifying. vampires.
Scary vampires. I don't like the buck-toothed rabbit teeth.
I don't particularly like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise vampires.
Nah, that was
that are
too.
like.
Well, that whole Anne Rice.
Like a
fluid sexuality.
If vampires are turning you on, there's something wrong.
But I did like those Anne Rice books. I'm not going to say I didn't like them, but that there was a subcurrent to that whole Anne Rice stuff that was not about vampires at all.
What's the vampire movie with that weird girl? Twilight.
Oh
yeah. Oh,
True Blood. I thought you were going True Blood.
Love with that.
I don't like vampire movies like that, where like the vampires are romantic.
Yeah, no.
It's like I want them to like rip the side of your throat out.
Oh yeah, the good ones. Yeah, when they have that real huge mouth. With
yes.
What about Gary Oldman? Was he a good vampire?
Good vampire.
He was a
good
vampire.
Good vampire.
Traveled oceans of time.
Yes. I don't like, but I really don't like that girl from that Twilight movie. Her face makes me so angry.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
She changed teams.
She
came out for being on a different team. She was on a different team all along. We were trying to debate about the dude she should have, and she wasn't even looking at the dude.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart. We were all debating which she should have, the Wolfman or the vampire, and she was looking for the lady vampire.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like her. I think that and I don't know if they knew that movie was going to be as big as they did. But first of all, I don't think she's a very good actress.
No.
And secondly, she should have been way hotter. Like,
I never read the books, but evidently she kind of fit the mold. I've honestly never seen one of those movies.
Oh, well, look at you.
I've seen all of them.
Oh, I've only seen one.
I can't.
But
I mean,
I don't blame you.
I couldn't.
She's very unlikable, so I didn't want to watch another one.
I had to win points with my wife, so
I feel left out. I don't really know. I mean, I know the characters.
It's Hufflepuff.
Yeah, kind of.
No.
I mean, I'm not too embarrassed to admit, if you sat me down and I was forced to watch it, go, this isn't too bad. But I wouldn't know.
I would much rather watch Nosferatu.
Just keep saying it that way until my wife lets me go see it.
And now Nosferatu is also, like, there's some romance in it because Nosferatu wants Johnny Depp's daughter, but she's now married. And he's like, I don't care. I don't care what your husband thinks about this. I'm going to have you because I'm the king.
So Johnny Depp's in this?
No, Johnny Depp's daughter is in it.
Like his blood daughter?
His real daughter, yeah.
Lily Rose Depp?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. Apparently Johnny Depp, a lot of people don't like him anymore.
Oh, because of the divorce?
Yeah, him. I've never seen a divorce where both parties lost stock like those two. Like, oh, she's an insane lunatic. Oh, he's a terrible person. Yeah, they both came out of that thing looking bad. Amber Heard.
And I'm reading about his daughters in Wicked.
Oh, is she the same gal?
Evidently.
So she's in Nosferatu and Wicked?
Lily Rose is.
Man, she's killing it. Good for her.
Wickedly talented is what they say.
Good for her. But yeah, maybe when I get back from Vegas, if you haven't seen Nosferatu yet, maybe we can go make a road
sounds like
trip.
a plan. I don't think anybody in my house will be going anytime.
I had the option. I was going to go watch it last night, but I said I'm going to watch it on IMAX. and there's 2 IMAX screens in San Antonio. One is down by the river
where we used to go.
And that is, I was like, they had a 6:45 showing, and I was like, okay, that's far.
AJ's like, what about this IMAX out on Commerce? So like River Center, don't go there.
I was like, I'd have to.
You better armor up. You better pad up.
Yeah, I was gonna have to park, and it just felt like a whole thing. I didn't know it was a bad place, but for me, it was just like, it's downtown. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to park. I don't want to deal with it. So I said, well, what about the other IMAX, which is like kind of by
Palladium.
you, yeah,
Palladium,
and what do they call it? The Rim. That's what they call it. So I said, maybe that one will be. They had a 9:15 showing. Well, I wasn't going to go to a 9:15 showing when I've got to wake up and do the morning show. So I said, and that's why I watched the Carry On movie instead at home. Oh, yeah. But I wanted to watch that movie. But now, if I don't watch it in Vegas when I get back, I think, and I'm not going to watch it in Vegas. I'm not going to watch a movie. If I do, or if I don't, let's go watch it.
Hopefully it's still out.
Do you want to go watch Nosferatu with us, Vic?
I'll go see it.
Okay. Will your wife let you out?
I don't know. I gotta ask.
This isn't a sexy vampire movie. They don't.
Okay. Nah, she might. Yeah, I think it'll be all right. What time?
Because I got to be home when the streetlights come on.
It'll be next week, Vic.
Yeah, I got bed.
What time?
We'll see how much.
What time?
We'll see how much popcorn you can eat.
Bedtime's at 8.
See how much popcorn you eat before your heart just stops.
Probably half. It depends how much butter we put in it.
Oh, heavy butter you want, right?
You don't put butter on it, do you?
I put butter.
Oh gosh, I don't like that butter.
Yeah, where your hands are all slimy.
Nah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
because that's not butter. That's just like cooking oil. That's
all right.
Like, ugh, I can't do it.
That's the best.
And I like to put, if I can, I like to put Reese's Pieces in it too.
Yeah, that's next level. If I'm feeling special.
Nah, I can't have none of that.
You know what? You know what other snack I like that you only really have at movie theaters? Milk duds. I love a good milk dud.
They're good in popcorn too.
They are, but it take a long time to get through a milk
gummy.
dud.
Yeah, they get a little gummy.
What I don't like is Whoppers.
You don't like malted?
I don't like malt.
Malted,
they have their place in this world.
But I'll eat a few of those.
I like Whoppers.
Those are old school.
Yeah, that's old school stuff there. You get a Whopper, you're probably getting a Werther's butterscotch.
We would buy like a carton that looked like a half gallon.
Yeah, the one that looked like a milk carton. That's my dad used to buy those.
At Woolworth or TG&Y.
TG&Y.
Yeah.
That's when you had the money. If you had money, you went to TG&Y.
Yeah.
If you were a low week, you were at Bruner's.
Miguel says the Palladium at the Rim is nice. Have an adult beverage and watch a flick. Yeah, that's the place where I went, and I forgot what I watched, where they wouldn't give me 2 beers at once. And I was like, really? I can't buy 2 beers? So I had to like...
Did you have to just down one real quick?
Well, no. What I did was I can't... That's the downside to watching a movie by myself is like...
Well, that's kind of sad. If I was at a movie and I looked over and a dude was by himself with like 3 beers in front of him,
well, I'd
feel like this guy might need an intervention.
I didn't want to get up in the middle of the movie and go get another beer. Okay.
Well, the Galaxy here, don't they bring it to you? Like the one that's right here on 35 and 410?
I think so, yeah.
Well,
that's
House
Alamo Draft
well.
House. I do like Alamo Draft House, but again, you can't watch IMAX at Alamo Draft House.
That's right.
I was being particular about wanting to see it on a big screen.
Yeah, you don't get delivery in that.
I'm so mad at this, the fact there's a discussion about this. We're going to have to talk about this next. The MVP race in the NFL. There should be no MVP race.
There's not. This is made up. There is no MVP race. It is going to be, when the votes are finally tallied, it is going to be a runaway.
It should be.
There will be.
And I really hope it is. If Josh Allen is not the MVP of this football season, the award is useless.
And the argument isn't even about the right dude. We're gonna talk about what everybody else is talking about, but they're not talking about the right dude. There's somebody else who should be in the conversation who legitimately is a solid second. But it ain't the dude we're going to talk about.
I don't even know who should be second. I don't think it should matter because Josh Allen should be a unanimous MVP.
Well, there's one other dude that I do think could get a vote or two and should.
Well, when we come back, we'll talk about that. And I'm going to, because I got a feeling I know who you're talking about. And I'm going to give you reasons why I would not give him the MVP. So we'll talk about that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
on your ride to work. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked, classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
The South Texas RV Super Sale is back at Expo Hall to Freeman, and boy, do we have a great show this year. Our dealers are loaded with RVs, and they're making deals. A full array of Class A, B, and C motorhomes, gigantic fifth wheels, toy haulers, and travel trailers. So go on over to SouthTexasRVSupersale.com and buy tickets in advance. No need to wait in line. We'll see you Thursday, January 2nd through Sunday the 5th at Expo Hall. The South Texas RV Super Sale is back. Doors open daily at 10. SouthTexasRVSupersale.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later, just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. A free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best-tasting water you've ever had. Better for your coffee maker, better for cooking, better for everything. Free with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, but only for a limited time.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
And is the last water softener you'll ever own. Right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking water station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Working a few trouble spots. 281 southbound, that connector to 1604. That connector ramp is still blocked. On 35 northbound, the off-ramp to Tupperwine, disabled vehicle. A stall at 410 westbound Blanco Road, now off to the shoulder. Downtown on 35 northbound Cesar Chavez, that stall is blocking the median. And a stalled 18-wheeler 35 southbound approaching Splashtown that's off to the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Spurs fell to the Timberwolves last night, 112-110 in a squeaker. Wemby led the way with 34 points and 8 rebounds. The Cowboys fell to the Eagles as Philly became the NFC East champs, meaning the 21st consecutive year no team has repeated as the NFC East division champ. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, we got to have this discussion because apparently there's a discussion to be had about the MVP
There's
of the
no
league.
discussion. There isn't. This is fluff. This is fluff. Trust me. This is a foregone conclusion. It is over. They're fighting for second.
I would hope so.
Oh.
But I really hear all like players are like, oh, well, Lamar's stats. Like last year when Lamar won, despite not having stats, it was like, well, it's not all about stats. And this year, apparently, if you want Lamar, it's all about stats. Now, the current odds are Josh Allen is minus 300. I don't know if Josh Allen's going to play next weekend. If I were the Bills, I would not play Josh Allen next weekend. No. But I'm also now like, oh, God, they need to play him, or otherwise they're going to give away this MVP to someone. Lamar Jackson is the second favorite at plus 225. And then you've got co-favorites at 16-1, Joe Burrow and Saquon Barkley. No one else has a real remote possibility of winning.
And I'll put it to you that Lamar doesn't have a possibility either.
I believe he doesn't. I mean, the guy won an MVP last year when he shouldn't have.
That's exactly
giving
why
him
no
a
one's gonna
third
vote for him.
MVP.
And he is a top 5 player. I'm not saying he's not, but just because of how he won it last year, it's just not going to happen this year.
I say this, and I mean this with all due respect. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is the most important player on his own offense.
Well, Derrick Henry.
I mean, Derrick Henry has been phenomenal this year.
You have said yet another reason why he is not. And from the outside, you go, yeah, he deserves to be in the conversation because he's that good. But the fact is, he won it last year when he shouldn't have. He's already got the trophy. It's time to turn the page. So it's not going to be him.
Okay.
Josh won this thing about 3 weeks ago and has been coasting, and he continues to put up more and more good. What he did yesterday was ridiculous. He was so much better than anybody else on the field, and that's been just about every time I've watched Buffalo play. It's done. So now we're seeing the Joe Burrow talk. That's silly. It's just silly.
It's absurd, quite frankly.
So, and he's going to end up probably in second just because I bet they win next week. They're probably not getting in, but they're going to win.
And they will be 9-8.
And I know that the deck was shuffled poorly for you guys. Everything went south, and you were extraordinary. But by the fact that you are just 9-8, that disqualifies you. You can't be average, the best guy on an average team, and win an MVP.
And his stats are incredible,
They
Joe
are.
Burrow.
It's really cool.
I hate to disparage Joe Burrow because I've really become a fan of Joe, which I'm a fan of Lamar too. But
It's not disparaging to tell you you're the second most valuable player in all of the NFL. I've always found that so odd that we go, I don't want to talk bad about him, but he's not as good as Josh Allen. Well, we're talking about the best guy in the world right now.
Let me read this list to you of the teams that Joe Burrow has beat this season to get to 8 wins. And you tell me when you hear a team and you go, oh, that's a good win. Joe Burrow this year has beaten the Panthers, the Giants, the Browns, the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Titans, the Browns, the Broncos.
They all suck.
That is the Broncos, the overtime win against the Broncos, which the Broncos just fumbled away.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Broncos knew that all they had to do was play for a tie and they would have been in the playoffs. They just had to get a tie and they would have made the playoffs.
All right.
And they tried to get cute. And that's the best win Joe Burrow has all year, is a win against the Broncos.
And for the most part, he was doing it with one arm time behind his back. He was hurt early. He didn't have Higgins most of the year. Chase Howell's out.
He's got the best receiver in the world.
You're right.
Near.
And he's used him. I'm not mad at him. He's done all he can on a team that was just bad luck, bad situations, whatever. And he's lifted that team. It could have been so much worse. But Saquon Barkley's 2,000 yards in a league that is set up for running backs not to be successful. And for a league that is put out there, we want distance and we want touchdowns from distance. When the running back market utterly collapses, and this guy goes out and gets 2,000 yards and will probably not break the record because it's not necessary. I think he is an obvious second. He had huge plays on a team that was stacked. I'm not going to lie. He's got a lot of help around him. But what he did and how he did it was absolutely extraordinary. And we're not talking nearly enough about 2,000 yards. Only 8 other dudes in the history of the world have ever done it.
Yeah.
It is a ridiculous achievement. And as good as it's been, he's still not Josh Allen. He got 2,000 yards in 16 games.
Yeah.
And still is second or third on some ballots. That tells you where Josh Allen is.
Well, it's like the year when Dickerson set the record. Dan Marino happened, and it was, well, sorry, you're not the MVP, Eric Dickerson. I know you've just run for more yards than anyone in history, but
and in hindsight, it was the correct pick. Oh, wow. I mean, Marino was the most valuable player that year, and that was in a year where the league was more set up to run like Dickerson than it was for Marino to throw. He was the counter, and he did it. This year, Saquon's the counter, and he's third.
Yeah.
I mean, it is crazy to me. If you think where Philadelphia would be, and I don't think they would have lost, they might have lost 2 or 3 more games. He didn't really tilt the scales. He really didn't. But he was also not the primary option either. There was other guys on that team that had good years, and he still got 2,000 yards. If it wasn't for Josh Allen's just extraordinary season, it would be a runaway for me. It would be Saquon. One, because he's not a quarterback, and gosh, that would be nice. But we also know that without a quarterback, a great one, you can't win. So thereby, they're always going to be first in consideration. And rightfully so, Josh Allen is your MVP. But Saquon should be right there. Right there.
This is a lot of these quarterbacks are setting crazy records. I mean, this is another, but Josh Allen has had a bunch of these first time in NFL history. 5 consecutive seasons that a quarterback has had 40 or more touchdowns. Like this has never happened. He's the only player to have done it 4 times in a row. There's only one player who's ever done it 3 times in a row, and that was Drew Brees. So, I mean,
the thing is, until he puts a ring on, until he puts it on, he's Jim Kelly. Until he puts it on, I mean, that's why he's been overlooked, because he's going to have to at least be at the party.
But Lamar Jackson hasn't been to the party, and he's got 2 MVP trophies.
And I think in hindsight, there's a regret about the one last year, and another reason why he won't get it this year. But until he does, he will forever be a peg below Drew Brees. Forever. You got to put a ring on it.
Listen, Josh, the numbers he's putting up, and really Lamar for that matter, Joe Burrow, the first one of these guys to put a ring on their finger is going to be they're going to be in a different class.
Yep. They join that echelon of the greatest of the greats.
They will instantly become. That's how you take claim to who's the second best quarterback in the league. Is win a Super Bowl this year.
And, lap Eli, because Eli, all he got was the ring. And we're going to watch him put a gold jacket on here in a couple months, in a couple weeks.
So, and the argument on, like, statistics for, like, people are putting Lamar's stats up next to Josh Allen's, and they're like, well, Lamar's got more passing yards. He's got more he's also taken, like, 120 more snaps.
Yeah.
Like, Josh Allen is they're scoring and getting off the field, and he goes and sits down. Last touchdown they scored this week against the Jets was Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky came in and did the work, because he didn't. That was it. Josh was done. They won the game. They got out of here.
One other thing to question, and I still don't understand how Adrian Peterson did not break the record back in 2012. I have to look back how he ended up with 2,097 yards and Dickerson with 2,105. I mean, 8 yards.
Away.
I mean, you couldn't have found one more play. I don't recall how this happened.
I don't either. I remember him being like he could have done it, but I'm not sure how that happened.
In hindsight, when you think those records don't matter, and you think, I'd rather be ready for the playoffs, and you look back and dude, 8 more yards and you would have been on the throne.
How many did Chris Johnson have the year that he?
2006. Barkley is 1 yard behind him.
Okay. So
and Terrell had 2008. Derrick Henry at 2027 back in 2020. He's the last one to do it in the last 20 years. 97, we had Barry Sanders at 2053. Jamal Lewis, the other Baltimore there, at 2066 back in 03, and those were hard-earned yards.
Oh, yeah.
And then Dickerson, of course, running wild.
So how many guys has Saquon, so Saquon, let's just say he's now had 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
How many guys, where would he rank all time in a 16-game season?
Well, let's see, Chris Johnson did it in 16. Right?
Yeah.
Terrell did it 16. Derek did it 16. Barry 16. Dickerson's the only one. He did it in 16 too,
yeah,
right?
Everybody did it.
So
all those guys. So where's he ranked?
He's above OJ, who did it in 14. And where does Saquon rank? He's 8th. He's only ahead of OJ had 2003 back in 1973, which at
by
the
the
end
way,
of the day is the greatest achievement.
That is the greatest.
Yeah, I mean,
running for 2,000 yards in 14 games.
And as an 8-year-old, it was that electric. It was that big a deal. He was that ridiculous.
That is insane to think about. I don't care what era, but you're running for 2,000 yards in 14 games
and doing it on terrible conditions on backyard fields where they didn't take care of the grass like we do now.
Okay, sure, he cut 2 people's heads off. But allegedly.
But damn, he was good.
But man,
not
he
allegedly.
Was good. He was good at.
No, he's convicted.
No,
it's
he
not
didn't remember, he was found not guilty of that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He is alleged. That's right.
That's right.
He is a
now
convicted,
he's a convicted a lot of things.
Kidnapper
a theft,
and that's right. He is alleged.
But he's.
But if he did do it, he knows how he would have.
Yes, exactly what he would have done.
Just another guy we lost this year.
Another one.
I wish 2024 would end already.
I wonder what OJ's prison boyfriend thought about when he died. What he thought when Daddy Juice died. Remember they were calling OJ Daddy Juice in prison? Yeah. Oof, that's a tough one.
I hear it doesn't count in prison.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Prison and vampire movies, that's the only places where that doesn't count. All right.
I have an idea for a movie.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys about Karbach Brewing. And I was telling you when I was out last week or this weekend with Minix, I had myself a couple Karbachs. And, man, they really, any occasion, they've got a beer for you. And you can find it all over San Antonio. When Eric Warner, the head brewer, came in here and said, when we first got outside of Houston, when we first decided we're going to take our beer outside of Houston, the first market they wanted to be in was San Antonio, Texas. He said he just felt like this was a great market for their beer and made it their priority. And that's why you can find it all over San Antonio. Of course, you can find it in the H-E-Bs and the liquor stores. But all the bars and restaurants, you might not even know that they have it. But if you ask, chances are good that they do. So when you're out and about, when you're celebrating in the new year and you're out with your buddies, you're watching these bowl games, you want to crack open something good, something unique, ask for a Hopadillo, ask for a Crawford Bock, ask for a Love Street. You'll be glad that you did. Next time you're out, make it a Karbach.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing victims of negligent drivers. When it comes to insurance companies, I hate to state the obvious, but as consumers of insurance products, we as Texans have never had fewer rights than we do right now. Over the past 20 years, our rights as Texas insurance consumers have diminished every year. The insurance lobbyist over that 20 years has been very, very successful. The result? If you're on your own, you have no chance of a fair recovery without an experienced attorney. I was licensed to practice in 1994. Over the past 32 years, I have seen the insurance company's playbook develop. Delay, deny, depose. It's not just crime scene evidence. It's a very real approach most every insurance company takes in responding to the claims of traffic accident victims. Hire someone who knows the game. Hire somebody who wins. Hire me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text LINE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text LINE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text LINE to 200-300. That's LINE to 200-300. LINE to 200-300.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. C.J. Stroud, Christian McCaffrey, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit IFFhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
911, what's your emergency?
In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, Jason Minix will make his return, and we'll wrap up everything that happened over the weekend. Big NFL weekend, a lot of playoff spots to be earned. We'll have a recap for you. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Next segment, one of our favorite segments, the losers.
Yeah.
We always love to to poke at the losers, and they were plentiful from this weekend. Plenty of losers to point at. I wonder how many Rob and I will have as consensus losers. And no, we can't use Aaron Rodgers. We already know he's king loser. We all know he's the Nosferatu of losers.
The mega loser.
Yeah, he's like the like when all the Power Rangers combine. What do they make? What do they Megazoid or whatever? He's the Megazoid of losers.
They can all combine?
Yeah, man. You didn't know that?
Or like the Wonder Twins?
I find that kind of weird.
Activate?
What do they call that? And did you ever watch Power Rangers?
I never saw Power Rangers.
Yeah, you're too old.
I'm too old for that.
And I wasn't really into Power Rangers, so I don't
either.
I like when I say I probably whatever I said Megazoid.
I just
is
remember
probably
Wonder
a made up
Twins.
thing.
Remember Wonder Twins?
Well, that's you remember Wonder Twins?
No.
That's
See,
Hanna-Barbera,
you had a
right?
ring, and they were twins. A boy and a
Oh
girl.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
One was forced to be something to do with water. That's all he could do, which sucked.
Yeah, but still.
In the form of steam. You're like, well, that sucks. In the form of morning dew.
Hey, it's what we
What?
had. That's what we had.
That's
back
all we
then.
had, and that poor guy got the worst power of all.
What is the worst superpower?
I think all you can do is change into some form of water.
Yeah, that's
pretty. That's a pretty lousy superpower.
That is pretty bad.
That and the ability to tell if people are uncomfortable at a party.
Everybody
It's a
is.
weird super party.
Gilbert says Megazords. Maybe that's it. I thought
So they all
Megazoids.
combine into one being. That's
Yeah, like
kinda weird.
remember Voltron when they would all connect? Like,
So-
do you guys remember Voltron?
No.
Oh, see, that's
Is that
that's
also-
in my alley.
That's not.
Oh, okay, no.
Is Voltron separate from Transformers?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that like a Transformers ripoff?
I think
Like Scuba Steve
I don't
to
know-
G.I. Joe?
I don't know who was invented first, Voltron or Transformers, but the Voltron they all combined to make an Overlord.
Yeah, that's weird to me. Like individual things all kind of came together.
Mhm.
Like you're the Voltron penis.
With our powers combined.
Well, I don't want to be the penis. Why am I? They all come together, and I got to be that.
I mean, you know where the penis goes.
Well, I mean, you're the cod piece. What's your superpower?
You
Your
go
superpower.
when you go bang some lady Megazord.
I'm
you get to have
Let's
all
just say
the
I'm
fun.
a grower, not a shower. Wait till you see me expand.
Oh, boing.
So I got to be the penis?
Yeah. Sorry, man. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. The New York Football Giants are catching a lot of grief because they won their football game.
I think you had a valid point. I think you have a point. Everybody's mad at the Giants for winning and ruining their opportunity to go draft a quarterback. I think they watched Friday night and saw Shedeur Sanders and said, we don't need him.
I'm telling you, man.
Let's just go win a football game.
There is not a if there was ever a year to kick the can down the road and say, you know what, we're going to suck again next year. Like, come out to your fans now and say, guys, bad news.
We're going to go get Aaron Rodgers.
We're going to go another year with Drew Lock and Tommy Cutlets because not a single one of these quarterbacks should be taken in the first round. This is the year for that.
I think that this is the first time that their idiot GM actually this worked out okay. Because he'd have drafted Shedeur. If given the opportunity, I have no doubt in my mind that they would have drafted the shiniest, prettiest thing. It doesn't have to have any substance or value, but the shiniest and prettiest thing the Giants would have drafted.
I got my tweet got picked up by Bleacher Report and got like, I don't know, 20-something thousand impressions. So I'm getting paid now for my tweet about Shedeur Sanders at the bowl game.
Really?
Yeah, because I just randomly tweeted from the game that Shedeur Sanders taking 23-yard sacks proves that he's ready to be a New York Giant. Like, it was the very Shedeur Sanders looked so bad, guys. I mean, he didn't look like a pro prospect.
But I'm not going to hold that against him. I'm really not. He shouldn't have played. Again, we talked about it earlier. The difference between trying real hard and what you think is hard and actually going out to win a football game are so different. those guys they were getting pulled in 100 different directions. He probably shouldn't have played. And evidently, I didn't see any of it. I'm not going to claim
him
that he was
and his
dialed
teammates
in.
were yelling at each other. Travis Hunter, his teammates yelling at each other. It's just, it was I'm unimpressed by them, quite frankly. Travis Hunter deserved Heisman. Don't get me wrong. I would have given it to Ashton Genty, but I'm not complaining that Travis Hunter got it. What I will say is I don't want Travis Hunter as a pro because Travis Hunter is going to go in the top 5. Mm-hmm. Travis Hunter's not the best wide receiver in the draft. He's not the best cornerback in the draft. He's not going to play both in the NFL. Why would you use a top 5 pick on the guy then? Because his name's Travis Hunter?
I don't think he's going to go top 5.
I think he is. I think
anybody who's drafting him is drafting him to be a cornerback. They're not drafting him to be a wide receiver.
I would hope not, but you also don't draft cornerbacks that high.
No, that's right. I don't think he's going to go that high. I think that he'll be talked about a lot, and we're going to watch him sitting in the green room as he slips to about 15 or 20, where a good cornerback should go.
Maybe. I hear a lot about this dude being.
You forget about the idiots that draft in the top 10. So
That's
if
true.
you're there for a reason, and maybe they continue to chase. But anybody who's watched the film, I mean, he's obviously a cornerback, though he'll want to be a wide receiver because that's who gets paid. But it will be cornerback for him. And Shedeur, I think he's a product of daddy ball, but I don't think he's a dude. He's a second-round pick.
Listen,
there's
Shedeur's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
But he's not a first-round pick.
He's not, and he's certainly not the number 1 overall pick, and that's what he's probably going to end up being. And quite frankly, it's going to be Shedeur, Cam Ward, Carson Beck, Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers. All of these guys are okay. Yeah, I mean that's cool. I guess if they're there in round 2 or 3, I'll take a shot.
One of them will turn out. I don't know which one.
I don't know either.
I felt like maybe Milroe has the best chance just because he's got a body to withstand the beating he's going to take his first year.
If I had to pick one of them, it would be Milroe.
But
because I see him throw a deep ball, and I'm like, oh, now there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't use a first-round pick on him. I just wouldn't.
But there's a reason why the teams that are there, and I think the best thing that could have been is the same thing that happened to the Texans. Sometimes karma pays out. Go win a football game, and good things will happen no matter what. And it worked out for the Texans, and I think the best thing that could happen to the Giants is they're drafting 5th. I mean, that way, whatever happens, they fall into your lap.
And maybe you don't end up with a quarterback. And if you don't, okay, well, we just didn't get one this year. That sucks. Because I'm telling you now, the only thing worse than not having a quarterback is drafting a guy and trying to pretend like he's your quarterback when you know damn well he's not the guy.
And everybody around him is looking and going, well, in 3 years we'll try again.
Because you know what's worse than not drafting a quarterback is drafting Zach Wilson or Trey Lance. That's worse. That sets you back. Not having one means, okay, we're going to try and do a stopgap. We're going to try and bridge a year, whatever. We're going to pay Sam Darnold. Fine. Drafting Trey Lance or Zach Wilson is the nightmare scenario, and you're like, well, we got to draft. We got to have a quarterback. Got to have a quarterback. Let's reach and take one of these guys who's certainly not that good and make him a first-round pick because he's the best one available.
Well,
it's the worst thing you can do.
The hope springs eternal, though, man. It does. Because until you have one, you know you cannot win. I don't care if I draft the 3 best offensive linemen in the NFL 3 consecutive years. I got Drew Lock behind that offensive line. Best I can hope for is 9 wins. It's just no matter what, I have to have a quarterback. And until I get Sean Payton or trying to figure another coach that's figured out how to get an average quarterback to play above O'Connell, maybe
Sean McVay
or McVay.
Yeah.
Until I get one of those 3,
Shanahan.
I gotta keep digging and mining for gold, man. Because I can't. No matter what, I gotta have a quarterback.
I get that, but I also, I really think the NFL doesn't care that you got the best quarterback in this draft. That's like me saying, Rob, we're going to go to a strip club, and I'm guaranteeing you're going to be able to pull one of these chicks and take her home. And you'll have your pick of the litter, and you think, oh, that's great. But then the strip club is called Fat Uglies.
But
now you've got it. You can have your pick of the litter, but none of them are what you want to go out of there with.
But sometimes if you're gonna go home, you're gonna have to take her home, man, because you never know. She might be able to cook.
Yeah,
you never know. I mean, it
draft
might
her in the
turn out she can do something different.
You draft her in the first round, you got to introduce her to your parents. You got to introduce her to your friends.
But she does something the other girls won't do.
Yeah. Yeah.
She'll run the ball. She's down with the tush push, if you know what I mean.
She'll take a 23-yard sack.
She'll do what others won't, and I'm going to go ahead and draft her because that's my only option. Next year, maybe there'll be another girl that does something different.
There is not a single quarterback coming out. Like over this weekend, Carson Beck announced that he's going to be in the draft. Carson Beck.
What?
To me, I'm looking at Carson Beck like, dude, is Carson Beck even good? Now he's having Tommy John surgery, and then he says, "Yeah, but I'm going to the draft." I was like, "What?" And Carson Beck is looked at as a top 5 quarterback in this draft class, coming off a Tommy John surgery. They're like, "Yeah, one of the 5 best in this class." Like, Texas fan wants Quinn Ewers set down, probably a top 5 quarterback in this class. Like, that tells you what this class is.
No, it's bad, but they're all going to get drafted.
They
None
all
of them
are.
lower than the second round.
And every team that drafts them is going to be digging back in the maybe one will work out. I don't know who it'll be.
There's always one.
But everybody else is going to be digging in the pile, going, okay, who do we got?
And Bo Nix was a pretty big surprise. If you'd have asked me who was going to turn out amongst those that came out, I would put Bo Nix about 3rd or 4th. And no, he's second.
Yeah. He's been very good. And what's funny is, of all the QBs in this draft class, the one I would least want right now is the one that went number 1 overall.
Right.
Because much like Aaron Rodgers, he is a loser. He is going to, like, Caleb Williams, I don't care what anyone tells me.
I'm not that far down the road on him yet. He ain't a loser. He's on a losing team in a bad situation, but I am not going to write him off yet.
But when they ask him about having a losing season, he's like, well, remember, they were losing before I got here. Like, that's not the things you say out loud in press conferences,
I'm not agreeing with all the things he's saying, but I'm not going to close the book on him.
He's a loser.
Oh, he's a bear. He got screwed with the bear.
He was crying when they started losing at USC. He was crazy.
Hey, that Lincoln Riley can coach his ass off.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That last 2 minutes, that guy can coach.
Well, we might hear about that in losers too. All right, we'll do losers on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We have cleared a couple of our trouble spots. 281 southbound, the off-ramp to 1604, and the stall at 410 westbound Blanco Road. Both of those have cleared. Now, we still have the stall at 35 northbound, the off-ramp to Tupper Wine, and 35 northbound Cesar Chavez disabled vehicle downtown. That stall is blocking the median. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out at 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
South Texas College Football Headquarters is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And the most wonderful time of the year for fans. Bowl season is no exception. The biggest and best matchups this bowl season are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear them all on South Texas' first and only FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
What is GMTVCC? That's a mouthful, but translation for GMTVCC.com is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Cars. It's a brand new buying division of Give Me the VIN, but it's for classic and collector cars. Experienced pro buyers will appraise an offer on your 1970 Hemi Cuda, or 1988 Fox Body Mustang, or your granddad's old 1985 square body Chevy truck. GMTVCC.com is where you go to get real money for classic and collector cars to get paid now. That's GMTVCC.com, brought to you by Give Me the VIN.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Listen up. The biggest savings are always at Mr. W Fireworks.
Our prices are always more than 50% lower than the other guys.
And we never charge you hidden fees. Look for the big W on our sign. And find us online at MrWFireworks.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
A gain scent bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said Maraca, senor, but his nose said, hey, freshest scent ever. Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing. Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Come to the South Texas RV Super Sale January 2nd through the 5th. Our dealers are loaded with RVs and they're making deals. Class A, B, and C motorhomes, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and travel trailers. For info and advance tickets, go to SouthTexasRVSupersale.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
All right, Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. And every Monday, we like to look back at the weekend that was and discuss the failures. And listen, we spent a lot of time on Aaron Rodgers, so we won't do any more with him. But we do have to look at the rest of the losers.
You lose. You are such a loser. You're a bona fide schmuck.
Time now to find out who blew it this weekend. The losers.
You bunch of losers! Look who's back. It's the loser.
I'm going back to a better class of losers.
With AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, losers.
All right, Rob, there were a lot to choose from this week, a lot of losers. But, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I'll let you take the lead.
All right, this is easy.
Give me a loser.
The two dudes that lost to Wemby playing chess in Washington. Wemby went 2-2 if you were keeping score. You lost to an 18-year-old French kid.
Well, I think he's 20 now.
Okay, 20-year-old French kid.
Okay.
Now, I've been to Washington Square. These guys take a lot of pride, and I know it's driving rain, so the experts weren't sitting out there. But 7'6" dude sits down. You think you're probably going to beat him in chess?
Yeah.
Get your ass whipped by I don't care how tall or how good he is in basketball, by a kid like that. That always sucks, and he got lost twice.
My younger son, he'll go to the bar with me and play chess with adults and beat them.
See, now
they're drinking though, but that's
But that's also. If you're in a bar and an 18-year-old walks up to play chess, he's going to whip your ass.
Well, we're talking about
he's a plant.
But I'm,
you know what I mean? Like
my kid's
that's
12.
One thing. Well, that's one thing. I mean, but if a parent's with your kid and go, hey, you want to play him in chess? Don't play him in chess. You're playing a prodigy. You're playing at Washington Square. These are guys that come and play on the regular. These are chess players.
Yeah.
And you walk up and this 20-year-old kid sits down and he whoops you in the rain. It'd be cool. But that's a loser. I'd do everything I could to win.
Rob, we haven't talked at all about the Aggies. You can't lose that game the way they lost it. I know it's just a bowl game.
I didn't see enough of it to really defend them. I will tell you this. From everybody that I've talked to that got to hear the commentary, and you were the last one, evidently they were praising Marcel.
They think Marcel Reed is like the second coming, and I don't get it.
And I'm not mad at him. He's second string quarterback. That's where he should have been.
Sure.
But he was put into a situation to where he's not very good. He's not the answer. And I don't know why so many people think that he is. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at Colin Klein. I'm mad at the offensive coordinator. The defense, you had four NFL dudes not playing. I think the four NFL dudes play. The defense makes a stop there late.
I think giving up 21 points in the fourth quarter is a bad look, but you're right.
And I'm not defending any of this, but bowl games, especially these bowl games, are silly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no there, but I do think that they represent and can sum up a season. And when you look back on the Aggies season, they were losers. At the end of the day, they were losers. But I will say Elko was a winner. I think Elko performed above and beyond expectations. Colin Klein, on the other hand, I know he's dealing with a couple of quarterbacks and some injuries, but the offense that we put together at the end of the year, I know his pieces and parts, was not going to be capable of doing what they needed to do. And I think at the end of the day, the biggest loser is Elko in his choice of offensive coordinator, because I think he's going to have to change horses. I don't think he can bring that guy back.
I think you're probably right.
But how much of the game did you see?
I watched the whole game.
Okay. What exactly happened? Was it a Marcel Reed mistake on that interception? Was it a sin of commission? Was he trying to do too much, or was it just a poor play call?
It's a bad call.
Yeah.
Bad call, bad throw. But what's funny is I don't think he was the worst quarterback on the field. Jaden Maiava is so bad. And he was dreadful for the first three quarters of this game. And they let him start hitting some throws late. The defense just got tired, I guess. It was a tough loss.
I wasn't paying close attention. And all I could think of in the fourth quarter was it reminded me of the Notre Dame game where Elko's like, run the damn ball. What are we doing? Run the ball. And why was Reed in a situation to throw the interceptions? I do say that there were some questionable pass interference calls there late that, it's one of those things where you let it go all game long and suddenly you're going to call it now. But they were interference. I'm not going to say they weren't, but it just felt like suddenly the refs were like, all right, let's give USC a chance here. And, it's up to A&M not to.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what is it? Water's wet and Aggies are
losers.
Well, not losers, 9-5.
Yeah.
I mean, the water's wet and Aggies are 9-4.
We are not an 8-5 football program.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, you are.
At least we were this year.
Exactly what you are.
Sadly, a rounding success for a coach that took over a program that was sinking fast.
I give Mike Elko a lot of credit for this year, but
he made some mistakes too, and one of them was in personnel. And I think that.
But I also, like I said, listening to that broadcast, it's very concerning that everybody seems to think Marcel Reed is like Johnny 2.0.
Well, here's the problem, man. Come on,
and they haven't done anything.
You have to step up and pay some money.
Yeah,
because they're all getting signed.
Everybody's gotten snatched up, and this is what you've got now. And maybe he's better than I've seen, but I don't like what I've seen so far. I'll tell you that.
I agree with you. Okay, who's your next?
I'll go with Oklahoma football.
I forgot. That's a good one. I don't have them on my list.
They well, first of all, they're losers because they finished 6-7 on the season. They were actual losers. But you're playing a service academy, and you go up 14-0 on them. I got news for you. All you got to do is hit that cruise control button. You get up 14-0 on a service academy, you've won the game as long as you don't step on your crank.
They gave up the longest running play in Naval Academy history.
And the Naval Academy has a long, long history.
You guys are horrible.
I think the last time they had a run that long, the field wasn't 100 yards long. They used to play on like a 60-yard long field or something.
It's a testament that kid, though. We saw how good Horvath was in the Army-Navy game. He is as good as Army quarterback, just spent the whole season hurt. It's a testament to the Army-Navy system.
When you are down now 21-14 and you scored the touchdown, first of all, I do like that they went for two.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him for that.
But you cannot like just drop back and stand around and like hope something pops. Like you gotta have. They had no idea what they were doing. They were lost. And so it was just a fitting loser ending to a loser season.
Exactly. And A&M's season ended appropriately. That's how the Aggies should finish. Get beat late for something stupid. And Oklahoma, get beat up by a team of lesser talent. Just go get beat up in the fourth quarter. And they got beat up.
Where are you going next, Rob?
This one is, I don't want to be too hard on too many teams.
Just give it to him.
Too many people over the weekend. Mike Zimmer. I know you're playing. We talked about it earlier in the show. You got 7 cornerbacks with 150 snaps or more. Mozzie Smith is an absolute train wreck. You lose 3 defensive. You lose 3 linebackers through the year. You have every reason. But last week, those same dudes performed. This week, they did not.
Yeah.
And some of it was scheme. A lot of it was want to and care. But some of it was. You took Kenny Pickett. You made this guy a Pro Bowler. For 3 quarters, you made this guy a legitimate quarterback. And that's scheme. I know you're playing with some bad dudes, but you can scheme your way past Kenny Pickett. And you weren't even capable of that. Zimmer, it's your next to last job, your next to last coaching gig. I guess you'll coach someplace else, but it won't be with the Cowboys next year.
I don't know who to blame. Like if I were to point out one particular loser for this debacle, but you could point at a lot of guys on the Houston Texans. And the Texans, because they played on Christmas Day, people forgot about it. They were absolutely pathetic.
They were.
31-2? I would rather be shut out 31-0 than lose 31-2. Because then it's like, well,
we got Derrick Henry in the back.
Yeah, we tackled him for a lot. Like, I think maybe I have to point at C.J. Stroud. I know nobody likes to say it, but I C.J. Stroud in the offseason talking about where he ranks on the QB pantheon, and then coming out this season and being, quite frankly, just a guy, if that. Remember this guy? He was third favorite to be the MVP of the league.
Yeah,
which is wild. And he's just. He looks lost. He throws the ball off his back foot. He does these jump throws. Like he looks constantly uncomfortable. Habits. It's like he's forgetting how to play football. He's regressing like a toddler with behavior issues.
Do you blame him, or is this? Do we have to start looking at Ryans here? Because this has been a decline of which, and they pegged it on injuries and some other things for a while.
I get he's missing receivers. Everybody's missing receivers. But you know what? He's got Nico Collins, who's better than anybody, the Bills have or the Chiefs have. Like you don't have I mean,
I don't know, man.
There's only so many excuses. I think C.J. Stroud started feeling himself with, he was reading his own press and didn't work as hard as he needed to keep up with the Joneses. And like I said, the league adjusts to you, man. He better figure it out because he's in real trouble. And everybody a year ago, Bobby Slowick was going to be the next head coach wherever he wanted to be. Now they're talking about he might get fired. Like, I don't know what's going on with his team, but CJ, D'Amico, everybody needs to wake the hell up. I mean, there is no one taking this team seriously as a playoff team. No one is worried. Like, people are, please, for the love of God, let us have to be the team that plays the Texans. Let us make that road trip to go play in that dead stadium where no one cares and beat this sorry-ass Texans team. They are losers.
I will say they could turn it all around with a playoff win, though.
They ain't winning a playoff game.
I'm just – we will look at this team entirely different if they can just get one playoff win.
If evil Russell Wilson shows up, maybe.
Maybe. But I do think that they've lost their compass. I don't know who they are anymore.
They've got no swagger to them.
There's something that just isn't there that needs to be found. And it's one of those things that once it gets away, you might not ever get it back. So, I mean, they need to pay very close attention to how they further C.J. Stroud's growth as a quarterback because he's stalled.
And clearly the guy's got a ton of potential. So you don't want to, throw the baby out with the bathwater. But somebody needs to look at him and go, dude, you're a big part of the problem right now. You've got to fix a lot of things. This is on you, Bubba.
Those guys that are so God-given talented, it's so hard to tell them, Fundamentals matter, man. You're putting your feet down. I don't care if you're Zach Wilson or you're C.J. Stroud. Your feet got to be planted and your knee has to be – I don't care who you are. You got to do this. And I think his athleticism has gotten him into some bad habits.
Listen, trust me, you're talking to me, Rob. As a natural radio talent, I know every day I've got to put in the work.
You got to put in – it's the little things, man. You got to block and tackle.
Got to keep putting it in. Where are you headed next?
Well, I'm running out of good ones.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to be nice.
I got two more good ones, and I'm not being nice. I'm one of my last loser is going to piss people off in this town. I can tell you that now.
Let's hit it because okay.
Well, let me do my. Sean Payton is a loser. Sean Payton had a chance to make the playoffs this year. All he had to do was run the clock down and end in a tie. And he thought, I'm going to win this. I'm going to go win this football game. And now you might not make the playoffs because you wanted to get cute. You want dude, make the playoffs. That's the most important. That's everyone's goal at the beginning of the season is to make the playoffs. You had a chance to make the playoffs, and you blew it. And now you've given Joe Burrow life. You've given, Mike McDaniel with the Dolphins has life. Like, you gave everybody life. None of them deserved life, and you gave it to them because, we were a winning team. We want to go win a football game. How about tie a game, you go to the playoffs. That's what winners do, go to the playoffs.
Well, it wouldn't have been so bad if the kicker had made the field goal first.
You know what?
I wouldn't be so mad at him, but right now, you're right.
My last loser, and this is, again, I know people love this guy in this town. I'm just calling it how I see it. Cam Ward, that was loser behavior. I'm going to play in the bowl game for exactly one half, and then I'm going to sit out in a game that was up for grabs. This was a competitive. It was actually one of the better, more competitive bowl games of the season.
This was Iowa State, right?
Yeah. Iowa State, Miami. Yeah. And Miami was up 31-28 at halftime. Cam Ward doesn't play in the second half. He stands over on the sideline in his jersey, and it's just I'm strictly viewing.
Was there an injury?
No. He
feels
just
to me that he was living up to a contractual obligation with an NIL. That's what it sounds like.
Exactly. And to me, if I honestly, and Mario Cristobal, who's also a loser, should have just said, dude, if you're only playing a half, you're not playing.
Yeah, I don't want you. And I'm not mad at you.
No, that's fine. Just tell me you don't want to play.
I need all of you or none of you, but I can't have 50%.
Yeah, if you don't want to play, that's cool. But then at least when Mario Cristobal loses, he can say, yeah, my quarterback opted out. It sucks. That's part of the deal, though. That's the new age of college football.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he plays for a half, and then he leaves his team high and dry. And let me read you the stats of Cam Ward's backup, Emory Williams. 5 of 14, 26 yards. That's a 1.9 yard average. No touchdowns, 1 pick, a 16.7 QBR. He stinks. He should not be playing for Miami. And that's who they had to roll out there with. So if at least he had to roll out there with him the whole game, they lose this game 42-0, and it's like, well, yeah, And I wouldn't even be mad at Cam Ward then because Cam Ward's got money to worry about. And I'm not going to fault these guys who want to go get their money. He just decided, I don't want to play in the second half. And to me, that's a loser move. I don't want that guy on my team. When I talk about which of these quarterbacks I'm drafting, I don't want a guy who says, I'm going to let my teammates go out there and play the second half, and I'm not going to. I would have had way more respect for him if he didn't even play the first half. That is a loser move.
I've been so excited about the playoffs in college football. I'm trying to get to a point where we're talking about winners and losers. Have you seen a good bowl game yet?
Yeah, I've seen a couple. I mean, that Miami Iowa State one was decent.
Was it a good game?
Yeah, there hadn't been a whole bunch of. I mean, there was a 6 overtime bowl game with Toledo.
Well, just because it's high scoring doesn't mean it's good.
Well, no, but I mean, when it's 6 overtimes, it's going back and forth.
No, you're right. I'll count that as good. What I'm trying to get at is
Kansas State Rutgers was pretty good.
If it feels to me, and it felt like that for the A&M game. And I'm on the losing side of this, so maybe it might be very different on the USC side. But there's used to, at least you tried to beat the other team. Now it's just this battle of attrition. I mean, we have separated the playoff games, which haven't been good yet either. I hope we get a couple of good ones. And we've sacrificed for these games where I just watch all these bowl games now with my arms crossed. Now, I look forward to like Navy OU because those are two. It's kind of a mid-level middleweight fight.
Yeah.
You know, I might see something interesting. But Iowa State, Miami, with a quarterback that's just sitting out halfway, that the BYU Colorado game, a rematch of a conference. I mean,
when you can find,
we have lessened the value of the other bowls.
When you find a
so
team that
far.
cares, it is so much more interesting. A great example of that, East Carolina, who played North Carolina State. East Carolina they've got such little brother syndrome. Anything named Carolina, they want to beat. They were fighting so hard at the end of that game, and they won it. It was like, that was cool. But, yeah, you're right. A lot of these teams just don't give a damn.
They don't care. Players don't care, and why should I?
All right, when we come back, we'll catch up on the Spurs. Haven't talked to them at all. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
When life changes fast, you need a lawyer who's been there. AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks offers unique experience as a veteran and first responder to give you a strategic, results-driven approach. Facing divorce, child custody battle, or a complex family dispute, the Hicks Law Firm offers flat-fee representation from beginning to end, so you know exactly what to expect with no surprises. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win. The Hicks Law Firm.
Don't overpay for your fireworks ever again.
Mr. W Fireworks always has the lowest prices on fireworks year after year.
Guaranteed.
At Mr. W Fireworks, we price our fireworks 50 to 80% less than the other guys, and we never charge you hidden fees.
You heard it right.
Our fireworks are always 50 to 80% lower than anywhere else around. Light up your outdoor party with Mr. W Fireworks.
Look for the big W on our sign and find us online at MrWFireworks.com. Happy New Year!
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Hey guys, do you want male performance in the bedroom and do you want it now? Get it in 47 seconds or less. For the first time, you can have instant male enhancement. Introducing Knox 47, the topical male enhancement that works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Finally, after years of scientific research, our proprietary formula will allow you to perform in the bedroom like never before. Just imagine that little blue pill on steroids. No reason to settle and wait when you can get instant performance now. Forget about pills and potions that make you wait hours or up to 30 days to work. That's yesterday's news. Knox 47 is brand new. The hottest thing for men. And you don't need a prescription. Call now and get your free supply for a limited time.
Find out how to get Knox 47 for free. Call now, 800-683-7083. That's 800-683-7083. Free bottles for a limited time. Call 800-683-7083. That's 800-683-7083.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance. But Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. C.J. Stroud, Christian McCaffrey, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We have cleared a couple of our trouble spots. 281 southbound, the off-ramp to 1604, and the stall at 410 westbound Blanco Road. Both of those have cleared. Now, we still have the stall at 35 northbound, the off-ramp to Tupper Wine, and 35 northbound Cesar Chavez disabled vehicle downtown. That stall is blocking the median. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out at 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Spurs fell to the Timberwolves last night, 112-110 in a squeaker. Wemby led the way with 34 points and 8 rebounds. The Cowboys fell to the Eagles as Philly became the NFC East champs, meaning the 21st consecutive year no team has repeated as the NFC East division champ. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Here we go. 9 o'clock, baby. I love this video of Sam Darnold going into the locker room and the team rushing him and celebrating with him. They love Sam Darnold, man. That dude is, I think he's earned himself some money. He's earned himself a contract.
A 3-year deal.
Yeah. 14 wins. Dude, nobody saw this coming. Nobody. And I had to put my money where I lost a bunch of money yesterday. I lost damn near every bet I made. But one of the ones I did win was the Vikings. And I was like, it was a pick'em against the Packers. And the Vikings were at home. And I've been saying all year long, the Vikings are good. The Vikings are legit. And I was like, if I'm not gonna bet the Vikings as a pick'em at home against the Packers, then I've been talking out of my ass. So I said, you know what, I got to throw some down on them. Thank goodness I did. What a win for the Vikings. They're riding high, and they got a chance they're playing for the 1 seed next week.
And deservedly so. This could very well end up being the story of the season. When we get done with all of this, other than Josh Allen hosting an MVP and whoever the eventual Super Bowl champion is, if it's not a Kansas City Chief.
Oh, please, baby Jesus in the sky.
Well, I mean, that would be the story for the next decade. We finally have another dynasty, at least a back-to-back kind of thing. It could be Sam Darnold because we love a redemption story, and this is the best redemption story going this year.
Sunday Night Football next week. Vikings at the Lions. Lions minus 2.5.
That's probably about right.
I'll wait. Maybe I can get a 3, but if I can get a 3, I'm betting the Vikings.
I think you're going to get a 3
because I know the Lions looked really, they looked really good last week, and they overcame the odds. They're still banged up.
They have to get home field. Detroit, I mean, that's the team that has to get it. They can't, no outdoor stadiums in their future.
Yeah.
They just can't do it. So I think they're going to give everything. And I think Minnesota, if I'm them, if there's a question, I get as healthy as I can. I don't necessarily need to be a 1 seed.
But the thing for Detroit is to say that they have to get the 1 seed, they would never go outside, because if they don't win the division, they'll be the 5 seed. I guess I say that assuming that everybody would win out. Like, I mean, maybe Minnesota.
Will. But I just know.
I guess they'd have to play in Philly.
Detroit needs to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team that last year they were kind of good. This year they're really good. And then if they don't, then you start running into a lot of the questions that these teams like Cincinnati did. Can you keep the momentum another year? Can you continue to be lucky? Can you continue to have those kind of things happen that get you to this point? You don't get that opportunity very often. They got to go. They got to go this year.
The Lions are 3.5-point favorites tonight. A lot of 4s, actually. Some -4s popping up at San Francisco. So the last game of Week 17.
Outdoor game on the road with a team with nothing to lose is a little worrisome.
I don't disagree with that at all. Let's talk about the Spurs. We haven't talked much about them. The Spurs are about they are very vanilla. They are
by their record, 16
and 16. You know what, man? I guess if you've been around watching this team for the last couple of years, 16 and 16 probably feels pretty damn good. Like vanilla flavored is at least not, garbage flavored. It's not rat crap flavored.
Everybody tunes in with an expectation of a win, and it's been 4 years since we could even begin to say that. So they're ahead of schedule. Yeah, they're vanilla, they lose in dumb ways. They, like last night.
The Christmas game was a kick in the balls.
They fritter that away. They fritter the Sixer game away. They're 5-5 in their last 10, which that's why they're 16 and 16. Let's talk about the bright side of this for just a second. Victor is now one of the top 5 players in the world. He has ascended to that in the last 2 weeks. He's getting 35 without hesitation. Now we can argue with how he's getting it. I don't like necessarily the number of threes that's taken to get there, but he's a 30-point-a-night guy now, and he can get it whenever he wants it. So I think as the Spurs are right there, there's a decision that needs to be made, because this team, as it's currently put together, will probably make the play-in and might very well get themselves into a first-round 1 versus 8 seed. Could happen. Or you win 4 extra games, suddenly you're a 6 seed. Things get a whole lot easier.
Yeah, well, especially if you don't have to play in the play-in. Yeah.
So, and it's not that difficult to do. There's blood in the water. The Lakers started this. They made a move. There's teams that are angling, and once one domino falls, I expect some more to play. It's time for the Spurs. This isn't a big decision. If they don't do anything, that's fine. We're right on track, but this is a team that could, with Victor playing at a top 5 level, the way Sohan's playing some defense, and we saw Barnes step up last night, but with some timely bench help, this could be a team that wins a playoff series a year ahead of schedule. Do you want to go ahead and do that?
Well, first of all, I mean, they would have to get all the way up to like a 6. Like, this team is not beating the Thunder in a 7-game series.
They're only a couple 3-4 wins away from a 6 seed. I mean, there's such a knot after the top 4 teams that this is a thing that if you're looking at it and you want to be an optimist, you go, hey, man, let's give it a shot. Maybe a vet here, a vet there. Not the De'Aaron Fox trade. I'm not talking about that trade. But a deal where you just bring in pieces or a part, whatever that might be.
Another Harrison Barnes
something
type.
like that. Maybe a big center. Maybe there's somebody big down there, pulls some rebounds and kind of alters your defense just enough to win those extra 3 games. Now's the time to start thinking about it, because this team, despite only going 5-5, has played wonderful basketball on the road. Really good. In Philadelphia, they played a couple of quarters of stellar basketball. Now, it frittered away. They didn't have to go against Embiid, but they played good on the road in a hostile environment. What they did against New York for 3 quarters, damn, I didn't think they had it in them.
They got to figure out how to finish.
Yes, but that's what every young team has to do.
That's also kind of on Chris Paul. Like, that's what you're brought here for.
And he's on them. But, yeah, I mean, Chris Paul's here to teach him how to win. I don't want him winning it. I want him to teach the other guys how to win it. And he's telling them, dude, this was embarrassing. This Sixers and this Knicks game, my teams win those. I appreciate what he said. We've got to do that.
I really think I would go for it if I'm the Spurs, certainly, because in the Western Conference this year, I think the Thunder are like great. And when they get Chet Holmgren back, that's a scary team. I don't know if there's any other even like really good teams in the West.
Well, Minnesota,
maybe Memphis.
On us. Well, Minnesota's got something on us. I don't know about the rest of the league, but right now we just can't seem to beat Minnesota.
But everybody is. I don't know that anybody besides Oklahoma City. Nobody's separated. Nobody's like
not
worlds
yet.
Better.
And
but like the Rockets aren't worlds better than the. I mean, they're better than the Spurs right now, but it's not like insane. The Clippers, who knows if they're real or phony? The Lakers, I don't know. They might. I mean, who knows if they'll be healthy come the end of the season?
Dorian Finney-Smith helps, but he ain't the answer.
Yeah, I mean, there's just the Nuggets. I don't know if the Nuggets are even a good team anymore. So there's a lot of questions out there.
And the
so
Spurs,
I think there's an opening.
If they decided to make a move, could very well capitalize on the chaos that's going on in the West. I'm just not sure how eager I am for it. I wouldn't mind seeing how this team plays its way through. I think it might be worth the shot, considering that even if you did go to the playoffs, you'd be going there with a rookie coach who might not even be the coach next year, whether it pops back or somebody else. So there's some variables that are coming into play. But when the Spurs can go out and play just barely above average of what they're capable of and be competitive against the best teams in the league on the road, hey, man, we're in a good position right now. It's just those little things that the only way you overcome them is learn not to do them again. And some players take longer to get that than others.
Hey, I got a little giveaway for you. The Navy All-American game and the San Antonio All-Star game.
Will you feed me lunch, too?
Yes. How about some free Whataburger? The best of the best. Area's top high school senior players in the San Antonio Sports All-Star football game presented by Valero and the Navy All-American Bowl, which is the best all around the country. 2 games, 1 ticket. Family 4-pack also includes 4 free Whataburger coupons. That game is on both these games on January 11th. Why wouldn't you? I mean, listen, free Whataburger. Who's saying no? What are we doing? Who says no to that? I can't imagine you would say no to that. So let's go caller number 6. You'll win the tickets, 4 tickets to both games, the Navy All-American Bowl and the San Antonio Sports All-Star football game on January 11th. All right. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in the world outside of sports. Then coming up in the last segment, we'll discuss the daily lines. We'll see where the money's pointing out in Vegas. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Just a few stalls as you head into your midday commute. I-10 westbound Callahan. This one's off to the right shoulder. Another at 90 eastbound Couples. Disabled vehicle, right shoulder blocked. And we still have this stalled 18-wheeler. It's been a little trouble spot all morning rush hour. 35 southbound approaching Splashtown. Stalled 18-wheeler off to the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The South Texas RV Super Sale is back at Expo Hall to Freeman, and boy, do we have a great show this year. Our dealers are loaded with RVs, and they're making deals. A full array of Class A, B, and C motorhomes, gigantic fifth wheels, toy haulers, and travel trailers. So go on over to SouthTexasRVSupersale.com and buy tickets in advance. No need to wait in line. We'll see you Thursday, January 2nd through Sunday the 5th at Expo Hall. The South Texas RV Super Sale is back. Doors open daily at 10. SouthTexasRVSupersale.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-656-1155. That's 800-656-1155. 800-656-1155.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. A free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best tasting water you've ever had. Better for your coffee maker, better for cooking, better for everything. Free with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, but only for a limited time.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
And is the last water softener you'll ever own. Right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking water station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
We were talking about the Thunder and how good they are. I don't even know if they're the best team. The Cleveland Cavaliers are a monster. You know the Cavs are 27-4.
Every metric says they win the title. When you look at what teams have done in the past and where they've done it and how they've done it during the regular season, most of the teams that have done what Cleveland's doing won a title, or at least we're into game 6 of the series.
It's wild what they are doing. They are running away with the Eastern Conference. Them and the Thunder, the only two teams with double-digit point differentials this season, 11.7 and 12.1. They look like, I mean, who knows? Come playoff time, those are two young teams. We'll see if they can hold up in the playoffs. And there's a lot of people who will say, well, Celtics are there until they're not. And that's fair.
And that's true.
But, man, they look really good right now.
It just goes to show, as we talk about where the Spurs should go and what they should do, that continuity does matter.
Oh,
that
for sure.
You don't have to have the most talented team. You just have to have the best team. And Cleveland's got a little bit of both. I'm not saying that they have not gone and acquired good talent, but they're not the most talented team in the NBA. But they are the best team as we sit, apart from Boston. I mean, when Boston's clicking, that's a pretty thing to watch. But Cleveland's good, man. Look out.
I like to spend some time looking at the world outside of sports. And today I came across an article that I think is certainly worthy of discussion. You're a rock and roll guy.
Oh, yeah.
Vic is a rock and roll guy. If I said, who is the greatest rock band from the United States? That becomes a much more difficult discussion, right? Versus like the greatest rock bands of all. I mean, there's like there's a bunch of, you go the Beatles or the Stones or Zeppelin or Queen or
U2.
Pink Floyd or
U2.
Okay, I guess U2 exists. So the idea that we're better than the British at almost everything, we are not better than them at rock and roll. Just historically, we have not.
No, they're better at it. They take our stuff and make it better.
Yeah, they dominate us in that category. But this guy did a list of the greatest. It says the title is "The Greatest American Rock and Roll Band is."
Okay. ... I have two, and nothing of the modern era though. I can't think of anything modern within the last 20 years.
In the last 20 years.
Well, I would say in the modern last quarter century.
I think. Well, here's the ones he listed that are relatively modern. Metallica, relatively modern.
I was going to put them in the top 10 or top 5. I mean, they're
Nirvana.
Nah, not long enough.
I don't think so either. Rage Against the Machine, who I love,
but kind of peripheral.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
There's some longevity there. Hard to argue. See, I would go back further.
Van Halen, Guns N' Roses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Guns N' Roses for about a 8 to 10 year span was about as big as any band out there.
And so let's quantify that. Would it be 3 records in a row that hit and make you great?
Okay, so he said apply the 3 C's. This is how he decided. Okay. Critical acclaim, commercial success, cultural relevance.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was looking for when he came up with this.
I would
list.
add longevity too.
Okay. Well, and that would eliminate like a band like Nirvana.
Right.
Oddly enough, the band, like the first band that comes to mind for me, and I don't know that I would consider them the greatest, but the first one that comes to mind for me, he listed about 20 bands, and he didn't list the one that I would have said first. Aerosmith.
See, Aerosmith, I'm back in that. I would have said like the Eagles. My gosh.
The Eagles are listed, and I think they're certainly in the short discussion.
And then like Nirvana's short term, and I'd put the Doors in there with Nirvana.
So here's his full list, the contenders, he says. And like I said, Aerosmith not on his contenders list, which I find shocking.
That's unfortunate.
Creedence Clearwater Revival. I love Creedence.
Yeah, but it's Fogerty. It's not
fairly short career, but their hits are still played everywhere. Yeah. Which you talk about longevity, like the fact that you can still hear Down on the Corner and Proud Mary and I mean, hell, Proud Mary, most people think it's a Tina Turner song. It's not. But the fact that is still, like, relevant, that's going – that's saying a lot.
Fortunate Son defined an era. I mean, it defined Vietnam.
Steely Dan. Steely Dan sucks.
Yacht Rock.
The Eagles, which, I mean, you talk about commercial success. You don't get more than that.
In and out and years of it.
Metallica, who is the biggest metal band of all time.
So has Metallica ever separated where guys went off and did their own stuff like the Eagles did? So it's always just been
Metallica.
them.
And they've had a guy leave the band and replace him. Yeah, they've had but for the most part, it's been the same core group of guys.
And they don't separate out and go do a project and come back. It's just them.
No,
I appreciate
There's
that.
not the Lars Ulrich experiment. Guns N' Roses.
I'm going to put them in there. They like you said, 10 years. They were the biggest thing in the world.
Van Halen.
Yeah.
I have
another
to,
one that was for a short time, man. They burned bright, man. They were
all of the 80s. They had 10 years. They had all of the 80s. Starting in 79 when back before Diver Down hit. Yeah, Van Halen was the biggest band in the world.
The Doors.
The record that they released like 3 months before, right around Morrison's death, might be the greatest American record album ever made.
You want to hear something funny? I didn't I'm not a Doors guy.
Oh, Ray Manzarek's a wizard.
I used to think that like the Doors were kind of like Kiss, like kind of like a joke band. Like they were like an American knockoff version of like a cool British band.
Yeah.
But then I realized like, oh, people are real serious about the Doors. Like there's some people who have like Jim Morrison tattoos. Like that's so
they were in Nirvana, man. The Kurt Cobain experience started with Jim Morrison. Same thing.
They do have. There's two bands listed here. The Band, which is a great band, but they're mostly Canadian.
Yeah, and it's also
and the Jimi Hendrix Experience, which Jimi Hendrix was the only American in the band. Everybody else was British, and Jimi Hendrix moved to England. I don't think that counts either.
That counts either.
Then he puts Nirvana, which I don't even know that they're the biggest band from their era genre. Like I would argue Pearl Jam has had. I mean, when you count in their longevity, like.
Yeah, they're bigger because Cobain was dead.
Yes.
But, I mean, there's so many of those of the like. I'll give Nirvana their due. I mean, they lit the fire.
I liked Pearl Jam more. I liked Stone Temple Pilots more. I liked Alice in Chains more. I liked Soundgarden more.
Genre I really didn't dive into. See, all those bands sounded alike to me. So I really didn't dive too much into the Seattle grunge.
Rage Against the Machine, which I love, and like the fact that their political messages still are relevant today, like 30, 40 years after those songs were written, I think is kind of cool. The Funk Brothers, which I don't know a lot about. I know that's James Jamerson's band, but I don't know much about them. The Roots, a hip-hop band. I don't know that I'd...
Yeah, now we're starting to get into the esoteric versions of music. So, yeah, the Roots are really good, but preeminent?
I mean, they're Jimmy Fallon's house band. Like, what are we doing? They can't.
Well, it's kind of like Radiohead is a great band, and they influence so many different bands. But Radiohead on their own, it's you got to be a connoisseur.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
They deserve it, absolutely. 25 years of solid music.
REM.
Oh, one of the greats for a decade. Yeah, seriously, for a decade.
REM to me is American U2. I just don't get it.
Yeah, you know what? They were of the same era, same genre, and you're right.
Yeah.
They spoke to a very specific time.
Parliament / Funkadelic / Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, yeah.
They're very different.
Shoot, yeah.
I mean, Parliament is one thing.
Well,
Earth, Wind, and Fire
he lists
is another.
all three of them together, but he says the most important and influential African-American bands of the 70s.
Well, see, you had to be either Earth, Wind, and Fire or Commodores. It was kind of like you had to be either Michael Jackson or Prince. You had to choose. Were you Earth, Wind, and Fire, which was a little bit more, a little bit cultural stuff, or the Commodores, which was just country funk? You had to pick one.
The Grateful Dead.
Worthy, yeah.
Which they're not for me. I mean, I get people like that. It's not my thing. The Ramones.
Wow, they did matter.
Oh, yeah.
They did matter. They
no
started
doubt.
things. Yeah,
they were. I mean, they were. We don't have the Clash, but that's as close as we've got.
But they weren't the. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they mattered.
Yeah, I think they did. I mean,
but the band mattered. I mean, they had maybe two. They had one great record, their first one. They had a couple others that followed, but it was more about who they were and what they represented with our American punk movement.
Kiss. Stop it.
Nah.
And Talking Heads, which okay,
I like that.
Not my thing, but
they mattered.
Is there any other that you can think of that are left off this list?
You know, it's funny we don't have any country bands.
That's true.
But this was a rock and roll thing. So they hit the Doors, which I think for a moment there they were the biggest and really affected a lot of music.
I would put a vote in for the Beastie Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
If Rage Against the Machine is on this list, I think the Beastie Boys should be too.
Well, we don't, and that would be the only band, I guess, when we get into that rap kind of genre. No, that's interesting that Beasties weren't on there.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. I wonder who else was left off.
Like Aerosmith being left off is fascinating to me. Because you talk about commercial success. I mean, they were
for 50 years. The guys were putting out hits. So
and they had like 2 totally separate runs where they were one of the biggest bands on earth.
Then they discovered rap.
Yeah,
they went with Run.
And then obviously Creed, not mentioned here. I don't know how that happened. I don't know who failed to.
Oh yeah, that's
very very odd choice. Very odd choice. And the Backstreet Boys didn't make the list.
No boy bands made it?
No boy bands. Yeah, so I just found that interesting. I think it's a great discussion. But
it's funny how we are not good at the super bands. They all coming out of
yeah.
So I guess they practice for
it. Well, and also, like, do you count Tom Petty? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers? Like,
should.
Do you count?
Should.
Oh yeah.
Do you count Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band? Like, or is it like?
Well, we just counted. What was the Jimi Hendrix and the Experience?
Well, we kicked them out.
Well, because they were Brits, but
yeah,
they were a band.
Yeah.
What about rap?
I give Bruce Springsteen more of a band than that's a band.
I think so too.
Because Jimmy and
I mean, Bruce Springsteen he's played with the same guys forever.
Yeah, that band matters.
Yeah,
so that is a true band. Now,
I think Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers falls into that too.
Does it?
I think so. And I like Tom Petty. I like.
Name one other guy on that band.
Got some good stuff.
Oh, I can't name anybody in the band.
Like the
no,
thing
you're
about
right.
Springsteen is, like Clarence Clemens went and did his own stuff for a while, and Jimmy, what's his name, Jimmy whatever is the guy. But Tom Petty,
Petty's like he's like meth Eric Clapton, like hillbilly Eric Clapton is what I.
There we go.
I like that.
I think Petty is one of the more underappreciated bands.
Oh, I love
him. When we lost him and everybody started looking at his catalog, you thought, my gosh,
that guy's awesome.
Part of the soundtrack of my life.
Yeah.
Part of that
how
LA
about,
sound.
How about Steve Miller Band? Not mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Been around a long time.
I love the Steve Miller Band. They got a lot of hits too.
Yeah, but did they really? Were they reflective of their time, or were they just kind of, we're talking about the greatest of all time.
No, you're probably right.
Steve
You're probably
Miller
right.
Kind of like,
you know what? Kiss is on this list. Steve Miller Band can be on the list.
But Kiss, I get it.
You don't.
The showmanship, the 50 years of it is a bit. But how many bands saw what they did and copied it?
Wanna rock and roll all night.
I mean.
What a lyricist.
Wait, wasn't there like a movie or I don't know, it was kind of corny. I can't remember.
You're thinking of Spinal Tap probably.
Which is
I don't know. I just remember Kiss in the movie or
they made a couple of bad movies. But
yeah. See, none of that.
Isn't that symbolic of how they did in fact matter?
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Again, you got to take into account like cultural relevance high.
Oh man, I would say of the guys my age, if you're 55 or older, most dudes the very first concert they ever went to was Kiss, and their parents took them. I
have a friend who is my age and is obsessed with Kiss. Like has Kiss tattoos. Like I mean he's big
because they were kind of dangerous, but they were cartoony.
My first concert was the Barkays at the Hemisphere when I was like 9.
I was at that show.
Yeah,
I was at that show with the Barkays. I think the Whispers opened for that. Oh
no, Confunction.
Was it
Confunction and
that's a band that should be in this. OJ's were they here? Did they open as well?
I don't know. I just remember Chocolate City Records. That's all I remember.
Josh says Bon Jovi was living on.
I was going to list them, and I do think they should be listed.
Maybe so.
They're still around.
Aerosmith is the most fascinating omission to me.
Well, like now looks like my aunt.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's gross looking. He's very disgusting.
Slowly turned into a 60-year-old woman.
But look at the daughter he made. Oh, Liv Tyler, what a beauty!
I haven't seen her lately.
I haven't either. I don't know if she's in. Oh my gosh, prime Liv Tyler was about as hot as it gets.
You know, I bet we see Liv, and she's probably 50 now.
Yeah, I bet she looks good.
I bet she does.
I bet. Oh yeah. You know, my favorite Aerosmith song is "Dream On."
Well, this.
Oh yeah.
There used to be a skate shop on Fredericksburg Road called Aerosmith.
Oh, really?
Used to go get my trucks and my wheels. This is back in the 70s.
They got sued.
No, I'm sure they did. But Aerosmith skate
Kids
shop
would have sued them for sure.
Their logo was the original Aerosmith album logo.
Really?
Whenever I hear this,
yeah.
I think about I'm going to go buy some new trucks. Get
Yeah.
my board ready.
Yeah, Kiss. You can buy everything branded Kiss on their official website. Like you can get a Kiss casket. That's amazing to me.
A Kiss casket?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
You want to be buried in a Kiss casket? Yeah.
Well,
I also had a whole nother story about a female prison guard who's been arrested after being caught having sex with an inmate on camera. Yeah.
Wow.
She let the inmate film it. Like, how did you think that was going to end up for you, officer?
Well, that was the last of a series of bad decisions.
Oh, my God.
She had made a couple of bad decisions prior to this one, so this one didn't seem so weird. I saw a story about two guys looking for Bigfoot, and they froze to death.
I saw that too. Yeah. Well, you get what you deserve.
Where are
sometimes.
you going tonight? Oh, honey, me and Jimmy, we're gonna go. We're gonna go searching for Bigfoot.
Yep.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Usually, you get what's coming to you. Usually,
that's a cover story. They're
what
cooking meth.
That's probably the case. All right, I got to tell you guys about the John Hicks Law Firm, and if you have ever had to deal with family law, you know it is a very stressful and difficult time. Obviously, if your family's breaking up, you're going through a divorce, you're fighting over kids, that's all stressful enough. You don't want to be worried about your lawyer. You don't want to be worried about what your lawyer is going to cost you in the end because you've got no idea. And John Hicks knows that because John Hicks is one of us. He's a veteran, served 2 decades with the San Antonio Fire Department as well, and he is he's a regular guy. He understands what it's like to be just in your shoes. He's got a unique mindset. He's not some Ivy League guy who is looking down on you. And here's the big deal. He does flat fee work. That's a competitive advantage that you won't find with lawyers. Like, he'll tell you, hey, I'm going to get you from here to here in the process. This is what it's going to cost you, not $1 more. And that way you at least know, hey, okay, this works for me. Because a lot of lawyers, you give them some money up front, and then suddenly they'll call you one day and say, yeah, that money's gone. I need some more. It's not how it works with John Hicks. And he also, not on top of that, he's got payment plans, which – what lawyers offer payment plans is a very rare thing, guys. If you're going through a divorce, custody battle, child support issue, whatever it may be, call John Hicks. Free consultation. See if it works for you. jhickslawfirm.com or give him a call, 210-985-8330 for John Hicks.
South Texas College Football Headquarters is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
And the most wonderful time of the year for fans. Bowl season is no exception. The biggest and best matchups this bowl season are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear them all on South Texas' first and only FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. C.J. Stroud, Christian McCaffrey, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Light up your outdoor party with Mr. W Fireworks.
We always have the lowest prices around. That's right.
Our prices are always more than 50% lower than the other guys.
And we never charge any hidden fees.
Look for the big W on our sign and find us online at MrWFireworks.com. When you shop at Mr. W, you can be sure you are getting the lowest prices on fireworks around.
And the biggest selection. Don't overpay for your fireworks ever again.
From our family to yours.
Happy New Year!
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When you've got a big job to do, never compromise. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota rental equipment. Excavators, skid loaders, track loaders, RTVs, or mowers. At Ewald Kubota, we have the machine you need when you need it. Rent by the day, week, or month. We know you want the dependable equipment Kubota is known for, and we can even deliver it to you. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
George gets justice. No amount of money can make up for a life-changing injury. I'm George Salinas, and at George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our team of attorneys will fight to get you the maximum compensation because we prepare and we care. So if you've been injured in an accident, get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-656-1155. That's 800-656-1155. 800-656-1155.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I got one more non-sports thing before we get on to the daily lines. The list came out of the 10 highest grossing movies of 2024.
Let's see. What have I paid for that I contribute to?
Now, let me ask you, make a guess.
Non-Disney movie, though.
Make a guess on this. Of the top 10 highest grossing movies in the U.S. this year, how many do you think were sequels?
All of them.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think what the other one was.
Wicked is the one.
And that's kind of it's
part of a franchise.
Well, it's a prequel.
Technically, yeah. Yeah, so we are very, very lazy when it comes to making movies. But, I mean, apparently people are still going to watch these things.
What's the adage? There's only 7 stories?
I guess so.
Only 7 stories have ever been told.
Number 10 was Beetlejuice. Did you see that one?
Well, I paid for it, but it was at home.
I've not watched it. Made $451 million worldwide, $294 domestically. That's pretty damn good. It's the 6th biggest domestic number.
For those of us that of an age, back when it first came out, we all went.
Yeah. But I didn't go to the theater and watch. I haven't even seen it yet, quite frankly. Number 9 is Venom: The Last Dance. And I usually like superhero movies. I haven't seen this one. But I do like Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I do too. And I don't know why I like Tom Hardy.
I don't know. I like him in Peaky Blinders.
That's
I like
the
him.
only thing that I can think of that he's done that is a memorable, other than this, the Venom and that. But everybody, when you bring up Tom Hardy, says, oh, I love Tom Hardy.
He's in that movie where he's a fighter, and his brother's a fighter too.
I don't think I've seen it.
I don't know what it's
I
called.
like him.
So yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Number 8, Kung Fu Panda 4. Kung Fu Panda 4.
Jack Black is he's an American icon.
Kung Fu Panda 4, $547.7 million worldwide. Over $500 million for Kung Fu Panda.
See, I couldn't watch this one because I never saw the first one. I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't be able to keep up. Well, that's like this one. Number 7 on the list is Godzilla and King Kong: The New Empire.
That's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, I've already watched that one.
I've not watched it yet. $571 million worldwide. What? I didn't even know it was made until last night, and I saw it on Netflix.
See,
I didn't know it existed.
It's worldwide.
Number 6 is Wicked. As of right now, it's probably going to finish closer to $700 million for the year than I mean, that's pretty damn good. Number 5 is Dune Part 2.
I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I watched Dune Part 1, and I was like, okay, it was okay.
I like the original Dune.
I'd like to, I mean, for those of us that were party to the first one.
Yeah.
And
I'm used to that. That's what I'm used to.
It was the first one was not very good, but it was good in hindsight. Steampunk. This version is really good, but not very good. I enjoyed it, but I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
Right.
Number 4 is Moana 2, which it's at $790 million now. I don't know if it won't get to $1 billion before the new year, but it could end up at $1 billion before it's out of movie theaters.
Moana 2. This time it's personal.
Number 3. These are the stupidest movies I've ever seen, but people pay out the ass to see them. Despicable Me number 4, with these Minions.
You couldn't pay me money. You couldn't pay me to sit and listen to Minions
they
talk
don't
for 2
talk.
hours.
I mean, they just
for 2 hours,
and kids eat it up. It's like, no wonder our society is a bunch of dummies.
Our generation is screwed.
It gets me.
970 million worldwide.
I get a physical kind of anger after about 5 minutes of Minion talk.
970 on a $100 million budget. I mean, they print money with this Minions thing. Print money. Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Have you tried to watch this?
I've seen this one. Yeah.
It's
Is that on Disney Plus?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's recently out. Here's the thing about Deadpool.
1.33 billion, by the way.
Do you get tired of him talking to you?
No, I like it.
Stop turning and talking to me and go act.
I like it. I like the. I mean,
keep that fourth wall up. Don't use me as a crutch. Go act. You don't need to talk to me.
It's like doing stand up in the middle. Yeah, I like it.
You don't need to look at me and talk to me. Go act. Do your stuff. I'm here to watch. You don't need to involve me.
Number 1 was Inside Out 2.
I don't even know what that is.
Inside Out was the movie like where all the girls' feelings were all, like she has little monsters inside her head that are feelings.
I have never heard of what you're talking about.
It was actually a pretty good kid. I don't like kid cartoon movies, and I watched that one, a Pixar movie, and it was pretty good.
About a little girl's feelings?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the number 1 movie in America is a cartoon about a little girl's feelings.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. $1.7 billion.
A lot of feelings. It's a lot of feelings there.
I feel like I missed out.
Yeah.
Think about, to put it into perspective, it has made more money. Inside Out 2 made more money in theaters than Jurassic World, The Avengers, Frozen 2, The Lion King. It is the biggest animated movie ever.
Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2.
I'm really? Googling it now. Had never heard of Inside Out 1, and now I'm looking at 2.
Well,
and
I don't know. Man.
I'm telling you, man. I don't like these kind of movies. It's a pretty good movie. All right, we got to do the daily lines.
You saw this?
I haven't seen part 2, but I saw part 1.
Okay.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the Daily Lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Daily Lines brought to you by SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house located at 281 in Bitters. They got tournaments going on every single day. Cash games going 24/7. Yeah, so now I've got, I bake cookies. I've got a cat. I watched Inside Out, and apparently I was at a gay bar this weekend. So there's questions about me are just popping up everywhere. Went to a gay bar with Jason Minix.
Just because there's a bar with gay people in it does not make it a gay bar.
Once it crosses a certain percentage, I think it kind of does.
Yeah.
No, I disagree.
And what were you wearing?
I think if it's a bar of a particular bent,
were you
and
wearing
if
your
you
cowboy
go
boots?
there for the specific reason meeting people of that bent, then it is that kind of bar. But if you just go there as someone and you meet somebody else there that's also of that bent, that doesn't mean it was a gay bar. You just happen to have been two gay people at a bar.
When you ask what I wore,
Were you wearing your chaps?
I wore my Richard Simmons costume.
Oh, well, then.
But with cowboy boots. Is that weird? I don't know.
Well, not in the winter. Gosh. It's winter time.
Yeah, but it's not cold out, and especially inside. I was sweating.
Well, because
sweating to the oldies.
Yeah, you were dancing.
I was sweating to the oldies. All right, let's take a look at the lines. The line tonight for the Lions-Niners: Detroit minus 3.5 at San Francisco. Total is 50.5. Lions actually need this game now, but San Francisco feels like the kind of team that could be a good spoiler, doesn't it?
In San Francisco at night, it's going to be damp. You know it is. It's going to be kind of cold. It's going to slow Detroit down. They're not going to be as fast. It's not going to be as fast a track. This is a game that they should win, but I wouldn't. I like the San Francisco line. Do you think it'll grow by?
It looked like it was trending towards 4, and now it's starting to push back to 3.5.
If it hit 4, I'm there. But
I think that's where I'm at too. Yeah. We got a bowl game today: Iowa and Missouri. Iowa plus 2.5 against Mizzou. Total of 40 in that game.
Where are they playing?
I don't know. I don't even know what that bowl is. What the game is called.
I would hope it was somewhere in the Midwest. I hope they're not traveling someplace far. It's
I hope they're in the Bahamas.
When you're like travel ball and you go up to some other city and you're playing the team that you played just last week.
They're in Nashville. They're in the Music City Bowl.
All right.
And you can hear that on our AM station. That is going to happen today at 1 o'clock. You'll be able to hear the Music City Bowl on our AM, and all of our games brought to you by Smokey Moe's and Ewald Kubota.
And Tractor.
That's right. In the National Basketball Association, we've got the Knicks and the Wizards. Knicks in Washington, 12-point road favorites. Oof.
Yes.
The Bulls laying 5 at Charlotte. Clippers laying 5 in New Orleans. What is this, like a road favorite day?
Yeah.
All but one favorite is the road team. Clippers minus 5 at the Pelicans. Nuggets minus 7 in Utah. Cleveland minus 4.5 at Golden State. Philly minus 6 in Portland. And the only road team that's a dog today, the Dallas Mavericks, are 3.5-point dogs in Sacramento.
What?
Yeah.
No, of all of them, that's the one. All the other ones were right. This one's wrong.
The Mavs should be road favorites.
Well, Sacramento, they just blew out their coach. You got other coaches calling out the organization for how they fired Mike Brown. And Mike Brown probably needed to be fired, but the way he got fired is pretty brutal.
Rough.
But so Sacramento's going to win one for the Gipper?
I guess so. The new coach bounce.
I guess that's the expectation. I don't see it.
That's the move, man. That is the move. College hoops tonight. We've got Michigan State, number 18 in the country. They are 26.5-point favorites against Western Michigan. Cooper Rush, is he going to be suiting up? I don't know.
Well, he's free now.
Auburn, 37.5-point favorites against Monmouth.
I like that number.
I would not be shocked if Auburn beats them by 50.
We're getting to those good New Year's tournaments. A bunch of teams flying to Hawaii.
Well, we also are getting to conference play. Big 12 starting up conference play. Number 17, Cincinnati, 3.5-point road favorites in the Octagon of Doom at Kansas State. Give me Kansas State catching 3.5. They've been very disappointing, and Cincinnati's been very good, but I think we're about to find out. It's hard to win on the road in the Big 12, and Kansas State still has some players. Houston is a huge road favorite. They're 11.5-point favorites at Oklahoma State. That's a big number, man, for a road team. Arkansas, 16.5-point favorites against Oakland. Iowa State laying 9.5 at Colorado. I think Iowa State's going to absolutely drub them.
Yes.
They've already played once. Now, it was a neutral site game, but Iowa State won that game by damn near 30 points. I don't think Colorado's home court is worth 20. So I'll go with Iowa State.
And don't get fooled by the 9-2 record.
No, they're
Colorado's
not that good.
Patsies.
And Iowa State's very legit. Mississippi State, a 28.5-point favorite against Bethune-Cookman. And Gonzaga, who I'm not sure about them. They can't win a big game to save their lives.
But, yeah, they are so absolute toilet paper soft. But, man, when they're shooting, that team can shoot the basketball.
They are headed to Pepperdine, where they are 21.5-point favorites tonight over the Waves.
UCLA had a good weekend.
Yes, they did.
That was a good game.
All right, that's the Daily Lines brought to you by SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house. We are done for the day. Blitz coming up at 2, and like I said, the Music City Bowl, if you want to hear that, is over on the AM. We'll be back tomorrow. Our final show of the year.
We saved up the good stuff.
Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is 94.1 San Antonio